Tonight's guest on Set the Trend Live,
Gary,
Calvin,
and US recording artist JL.
and now here come your hosts.
Hey, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Everybody there? Are you two there?
Yep.
Who?
What's going on? You all right, mate?
Yeah. I was just looking at you guys, looking. I don't know, looking.
Security edition. You got to look. You got to
Just
look
looking
serious.
perplexed, bro.
We got to be
You know what I mean?
serious.
Huh?
It's a security edition. You got to be serious. You got those Federici trainers on tonight, have you?
I have, mate. You know what? It's gonna be funny tonight, innit? Because I've got my trainers on. If you're wearing trainers, you can't get in.
Yeah. That's
Flat
it.
shoes.
Flat shoes only. Shirt and collar. Don't you like my security bomber jacket?
Is that what it is? Yeah.
And the camouflage hat. Most security wear the camouflage hat, don't they?
Oh, now I get you. I didn't get that before, like the way you were looking.
Yeah, I know.
Now I get you.
You were too
Now
busy
I
looking
get
at yourself in
No,
the
I was just
stream, making
no.
sure that your DAX was correctly applied.
I don't have DAX, bro. Don't be cheeky.
It's the finale. Shots are flying everywhere today. It's the finale.
Yeah, it's the last show of the current series, isn't it? It sure is that. East, there's no shots flying over there though. While I do my posting out, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. All is well. Grand finale, as we just mentioned. It's coming to an
Johnny
end.
over there. How are you? How are you? What? Your tears? Oh, tears.
He's actually upset. Can you believe it?
Last show.
What are you gonna do with your Saturdays again?
Well, I can have late nights in my store.
Yeah, that's right, Prue. I'm on one.
Yeah.
Hello,
Late
Sandra,
nights.
beautiful lady.
And you know, opportunity to get back into some of those venues and see what's going on, see how
Evening,
the
Alison.
new normal,
Sorry.
see how
Go
the
on.
new normal is.
Yeah.
Well, the
Oh,
new
Pamela's
normal.
there. Hello,
The
Pamela.
new normal. I don't know what that's gonna be like. But I know the show today isn't gonna be normal at all. And that's a definite. We have two very esteemed security personnel in the building today.
Is that their title? Is that what we call
Security?
them? Security personnel.
I don't know. We're gonna ask them. Is it door supervisors? Is it security? I don't know. They've been rebranded so much over the last 20 odd years. I mean, who knows? Close protection. Because remember, they, like Calvin does close protection. I think Gary does it the odd times too, but I know that Calvin does that. So we'll ask them the correct definition to get that right today. So we're talking everything security today. We've got the guys on, and they've got 30 years of experience of ushering you into an event or barring you from an event or even throwing you out of an event. so we should be having some fun today doing that. You know what I'm saying to you? So that should be cool.
Yeah.
Right. Just to say, before we do that, we've got some things to get through for the first 15 minutes or 11 minutes as it stands right now. Are you looking all right there, Reg?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate.
You sure you're looking all right? You're looking a bit stoned.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Yes, I'm all right. It's Pamela Allen.
I'm just saying.
Because Pamela Allen said she liked my smile. I love your smile too, Pamela.
A bit of Shanice going on there. Yeah?
Mine, Pamela, man.
A Shanice moment.
Sandra says, hello, Reggie. Look at him. They're all coming in here.
Well,
Reggie, heavy
all
stuff.
season, and I still haven't even managed to get a date. Can you believe
all later on, all the big guns are coming in. You know, Tanqueray's going to come in and say, Reggie. Kim Tabar's going to come in and say, Reggie.
Anyway, welcome to Set the Trend podcast. Those of you who've just joined us here, if you're on Facebook, can you share the link for us, please? If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the page if you haven't done that already. Yes, Tracy Angel, it's going to be jokes today. Set the Trend podcast. This is where we talk about street sound culture. We give the flowers out. We describe and tell you what happened in the past, because sometimes, like for us, it can be a moment when you learn things about the scene that you've been in for so long that you don't know anything about whatsoever. So this is where we talk everything street culture. So we'll have fun about that. Also, let's just go to last week's show first. Last week's show, no, we're not. No, we're not. I'm going to go to it after I talk about this gentleman. Serious. 1 year on Tuesday. I don't know the correct word to use there. It's not that we celebrate. We don't celebrate that at all, even though it's led to, some would say, some change in the world.
Commemorate.
We commemorate, the death of a young black man, George Floyd, happened a year ago this Tuesday coming. And it changed the world forever.
Yep.
I would say. Well, I hope it changed the world forever. I mean, we've had certain moments. You know, we've had moments where we fought for equality and we think we've got change and we haven't got change, and it's just gone back to what it was. So we hope that this is not one of those moments. 9 minutes and 29 seconds. That's all it took for George Floyd to change the world, and that's all it took for a policeman, Derek Chauvin, to have his knee on his neck and kill him in cold blood in front of passers-by and the whole world. That video traumatizes some people even now. What happened? Your thoughts on a year, Eastender, of George Floyd?
You know, I really hope that, you know, I wish that COVID didn't come in, because I think COVID has kind of taken the progress that was being made and the change that would have happened. It's taking it a back seat. You know, there's been a lot of change, good change. We've seen, just from this, we've seen more black people on TV, more black programs on TV, more discussions. And, you know, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know, it's...
But have we seen change? Have we seen significant change? Have we seen something that's going to be...
Of course we've seen change.
Something that is lasting? We have? There's been
a, I think, coupled with the Me Too, reigniting again last year as well. We've seen change with a lot more females, especially black females, now starting to have more of a voice in the media. Loose women, you know, all black loose women. The other day watching Alan Carr, first time I've ever watched a TV game show and saw all black contestants on a TV game show.
Is that superficial change where it's changed what you can see, but the change that we can't see may be more important to the wider generation of people, the wider community who work in workplaces where they're still facing disparate structures that don't enable them to move up the ladder as fair as their colleague who might come from another background. The music
industry in particular, you know, people are starting to put their money where their mouth is. Sony committed 100 million. They've started to produce their massive change. You've got those ladies who have come together with a coalition, and PRS, who we had Michelle Escoffrey on, the Power Up scheme.
So we're saying everything's rosy then, are we? Is that
it's
what
not
we're
rosy?
saying?
I think but it takes time. And don't forget, we're in a time where we've got Brexit, which has just happened, and you know, we all know the connotations behind that in regards to immigrants and stuff like that, and you know what's happening with the changes in the Home Office at the moment, which are kind of like reversing some of the good stuff that's been done. And the positive change that has happened. But I think that in general, us being more visible and seeing more Asians and more black people in positions that you wouldn't normally see will then become the norm. And people will then eventually, hopefully, start to go, oh, well, do you know what? This person is actually just as good as the other person who's presenting.
And one of the changes that we have seen is, you know, Normally, in situations like this, the police officers normally get away. This one got guilty, guilty, guilty.
Yeah.
But you know he's going for a retrial, though, yeah? You do know that.
We know we're going for a retrial.
Okay, so I mean, fair me. I mean, I might sound a bit skeptical, but you know, we've grown up in an age where we've seen different times where we've seen Martin Luther King, we've seen riots in England, we've seen things that we think are going to change, where they pick up and say, "Oh, you lot have got a point. You know, we've been treating you bad." And maybe we need to make it a fairer place. So that's what we're asking. We're not asking for anything special, anything over anybody else. Just asking for a fair chance, a fair crack at the whip. Now, you're saying, you sound very positive to say that this is the time now when we're going to see change that actually not only stays there, but puts us on that fairer level with a chance at everybody else. So maybe it's not even talking about so much us lot, because we're getting old, but some of the younger lot. So
yeah, but why not us lot? Why should there be ageism?
So it's not about ageism. So what I'm saying to you is that you lot sound very positive in that.
Well, you know, I'm trying to be positive, and I'm hoping that, you know, what little they've done so far will continue in the years to come. Because normally nothing happens.
Yeah,
you know, nothing normally happens. Something's happened, and it's only a little bit, but it's a start. Let's hope it continues.
On the ageism point, though,
it wasn't ageism. Listen, that was just a point I was.
No, when you say we're getting older, but you have to remember who are the role models for the youth. It's us. So if we're in positions,
yeah, but that's not my point. Yeah, but that's not my point. I was just making the point that we're getting older, and it's more about the young people. It's not about ageism. Listen, I think, you know, ageism goes without saying. So let's not make it about ageism, Reg. It's about the fact of the matter is that we won't be here as long as some of our kids will be here. Hopefully, they will be burying us, and we will not be burying them, because that's what every parent wants, and then everybody's going up. So what I'm saying to you is, will it be a fairer society for them, and not just a tragic day for another black person?
We'll definitely work as hard as we can to ensure that it is, and you know, we won't let it go by the by. I think a lot of the youths are very good at empowering themselves as well anyway nowadays.
Well, let's hope so. I know me, and I hope I don't sound too skeptical. I want to see a change. I just don't want it to be something that starts. It's a false dawn, and another 3 years, you know, we've got black players, they'll be taking the knee for no reason, and social media still takes the mick, and as people saying excruciatingly hurtful things that do not go unchecked. You know what I mean? And some of the little things that you can be picked up on, and then racism just out there and it goes unchecked. And it's not like they can't do nothing about it. So excuse me if I'm not as happy as you guys. I am happier, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not as happy as you two sound. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm always ever the optimist, Ray.
Always look on the bright side of life.
You do. Anyway, that was what we had to talk about. That was the main point of the 15 minutes today. We got about a couple minutes to go before we get the lads in. This is the season finale of the lives. We will still be recording. I tell you what, we have Booker T recorded and ready to come out, and we have Everton from Roast. If you lot remember Roast back in the day, Everton Roast, that's in the can and that's ready to go. I can't remember who else we got in the can and ready to go.
I've forgotten, mate.
And we got Special Touch. Is that
Special Touch?
We got two. We got two in the can.
Yeah, two special touches. I wonder why.
I don't know, but they are pre-recorded sessions that we will be putting out live over the next 3 months. Before we aim to come back on here in September, isn't it? So let's see.
We're gonna have lots of highlight snippets and stuff like that.
We've also got Sting Deja Vu. That seems like 3 years ago we recorded that one.
Telepathy, Sting. That's correct. We have Sting in the can as well to come out. So there's a lot of people that we've recorded. There's a 3-4 in the can to come out, and we will be carrying on with our works. Just to say that when we first started, we wanted to review some of the shows before we started. When we started off this series of live sessions in January, the first guest we had up was Orlando Gittins and Simon Soul Gigs. They was on the platform. Yeah. Orlando giving me
from
jokes.
Barbados.
Yeah, he was in Barbados. And Simon Solgits.
Have we got that picture?
Promoter. We have, but we don't use it. It's not one that we use. Yeah, I just have to say that because I know that one of the producers, at least, is very trigger happy. You know what I mean? So we're not going to do that. We also had Lee Jasper, the activist, and Basil Pempanzi. So it was a conversation about music, but we also touched on health and political activism there with Lee. Obviously, we had to, you know what I mean? But Lee knows his music as well. Lee is definitely a selector. He's not just someone who just...
He got that selectors challenge right. He did well on that, didn't he?
He got that 100% right. So that was good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? Then we had DJ Yardi from Baseline.
Isn't there a clip? I think there's a clip, a really good clip that I remember. I don't know if the producers have got it lined up of DJ Yardi on when he came on, but if they haven't got it ready, we'll probably play
Mark Crow. It says, Yardi, remember the guy that tried to have sex with his girl? She rang back after 2 minutes and said, it's done.
Oh! Hey, sweet vibes. It ain't you. But you know.
That's just one of the hilarious moments.
Yeah, you would pick that one, would you? Yeah, you would pick that one.
I wonder who was doing the clipping on that one.
You know who was doing the clipping on that one? Yeah, try set me up. You get me? Do you know why try to set me up? It wasn't me. That's all I know, mate. It wasn't me. Yeah, so we talked about everything Baseline FM. He's a former CEO, founder of he's not a founder, but he was one of the guys who took the reins on for Baseline FM from about the early 2000s. I think he took it on to 2004, 2005. So, but he had a check.
Outside. Femi Fem in there.
Oh, big up Femi Fem was on last week. We haven't talked about last week yet. I'm gonna leave last week until we finish with the guys. You know what I mean? And we've also got a live performance today, lest I forget, from JL from the United States of America. What part of the US is he from? East?
He's in Tennessee at the moment. I think that's his
good style out.
Yeah.
So you've done your research as usual. Well done, son. Well done, sir. So we've got a live performance from JL coming up. He's an artist that I'm quite looking forward to seeing. He's not a new artist, but he's one of those artists that have been bubbling and in this pandemic have started to flourish to the top. The pandemic's given a lot of artists a time to really show what they're about, which in one way it's good, and I know in another way it's bad. So we've got JL coming on a little later on, a live performance for you. But we're going to talk about, we're going to leave some of the, we're going to leave that bit and let's just go on to our guest that we have on, that we have coming on tonight. Security, very touchy subject sometimes, especially if you haven't been let in a club. You know what I mean? You cuss the security. If you get thrown out, you cuss the security. I'm really looking forward to talking about that. Do you want to concentrate on me now, Reg, mate? I don't know. You're looking at it in the chat. If we can if we can talk, mate. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're looking at a couple numbers there. Is that what's going on?
The messages are putting a smile on his face.
Yeah, no, mate. Can we concentrate on us now? Thank you.
The Richard fan club.
So, today, when we're talking about security, I have had the pleasure of using these guys over the 30 odd years that I've known them. I know, Reggie, you've had them at your events as well.
Yeah, a couple, and with artists, and also over the years, now and again.
Yeah, I don't know, East, have you used them at any events?
I have used them at my hotel events in Kensington at the Royal Garden Hotel. And then I used them for that nice event in Bristol a few years ago at the Mansion House.
Right, you went out of town and you took them out of town. That means that Gary charged you double and a half. I know what Gary's like. So we'll talk about that a little later on. But I know the DJs and promoters receive a lot of the accolades for our culture, and rightly so. But simply put, you need more than flour and water to bake a cake. The industry is a sum of parts with contributions from design agencies, hirers of sound equipment and PA systems that provide us with the big sounds that we have at some of the venues, the front office staff, bar staff, cloak and toilet attendees, to name a few of the people who go forward to helping create that night, that atmosphere at the event. Least and not last, you, the customer. Some of you guys in the chat room have been to X amount of events and have helped them being such a success over the years. But an essential ingredient that is part of all that makeup and is the first line of customer service. So tonight, it's not about glorifying the business as such or shaming people, because there's going to be jokes tonight. You know what I mean? So we're going to try and not mention as much people as possible, but some people might get a name checks. You get me? But we'll try and not do that. It's about, we're going to have that honest conversation about the hard side of the job, about putting yourself. We're going to make you put yourself in the security shoes, and we want your questions as well. So feel free to put some of your questions down as well. Door supervisor shoes. I don't know what they're called now, but they're going to tell me what they feel most comfortable with. And what we want this evening to do is for you to really appreciate the difficult and challenging role that they play in ensuring people's safety, and in some moments, their life as well is put on the line to protect us. So without further ado, we're going to have two of the most recognizable security firms in the business over the last 30 odd years in the game. They're not only local lads, they're internationally known for providing customers and guarding clients worldwide. Set the Trend welcomes Calvin from Phantom Security and Gary from D&G Security. Welcome to Set the Trend. Hey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, guys. To my favorite guys.
How are you? How about Gary? How are you today?
I'm fine. It's fitting that this is the finale because, as usual, security get thought of last. So I feel at home here.
There you go. Gary, don't start that. No, it's the biggest show, and for us, we wanted to end it most fittingly with the biggest noise and also the biggest guys, because you seem to be fitting in that frame there. That 50-odd inch chest of yours seems to be sitting pretty good in that frame today, Gary.
Yeah, that's why I've always liked you, Ray. Very good at words.
And Calvin. Right? And Calvin, welcome to Set the Trend, Calvin. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're all good, man. We're all good. You know, right here, anticipating tonight, see what's really going on.
Are you ready to tell the stories?
Well, stories.
All I want to know is how much Gal Ray you turn up to the dance with.
Hey, just cool. Let me just name some of the clubs that you guys have worked at, and you feel free to add some more if I've missed some prominent ones. Kings on the Rye, Lefez, Illusions, Club Zero, Cameos, Earl's Wine Bar, Market Bar, Silks and Spice, Excel Center, Acapulco's, RJS Holidays, Zanti Shutdown, Carnival, securing Rampage's area. Text Me. What was the club, Reggie, at Text Me?
Sound, Leicester Square.
Sound at Leicester Square. Blues Dances, Untold Warehouses. Is there anywhere that I've left out that you've worked that you'd like to add into the pot?
Well, you missed out Night Moves. You can't miss out Night Moves.
Night Moves, yes.
Ooh,
yeah.
wow.
The Royal Lounge.
Hanover Ground.
Oh yeah, Hanover.
Yeah.
Hanover, yeah.
I used to do Blue Note. Yeah.
Yes.
You probably wouldn't know about that. The Club Harlem, which was formerly the Pig. What else? Used to do Astoria, Dingwalls, Camden Lock. I think that was before Kiss. Before when Kiss was illegal. That's how long ago that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Old Kent Road. What was the club on Old Kent Road you did as well?
Brinks.
Which one? Virgos.
Brinks.
Brink. Yeah.
Gary, did I miss that anymore?
Yeah, I said, don't forget Samantha's and Cameos, Privé in Bromley, Bar 7, Brickstocks,
Yeah.
Riva on the Bromley Road.
Yeah, the club in Holland. club in Holborn was Club Yo-Yo.
Yo-yo on a Saturday night.
I used to.
Yes.
I used to have a security. I used to have a security firm in the West End before I started working at King's. Well, as I started working at King's, so we used to do Club Yo-Yo, which was Trevor Nelson's club.
Yeah, Villa Stefano.
Yeah, and I used to do. I don't know if any of you know this. I used to have a club called Shuffles, which was Rathbone Place.
Yes.
The guy called Fat Freddie M. Yeah, I think it was called Boomerang, if that's right. Yeah, Boomerang. Yeah, there's a little spot. Yeah, called a Fish.
I see Louis Oasis is putting there the Point nightclub as well.
Yeah.
Point. Yeah. There's loads of places now.
Loads of places. All right, and we might get to discuss some of those in more detail as we go on. Calvin, though, you're originally, and I didn't know this till the other day. You're originally you're a Brummie. You're from Birmingham.
Yeah. That's right, man. That's right.
So how did you manage to come out? Not how did you manage? When did you come from Birmingham? What was that? How was that transition happen?
My mum was down here, and kind of came down here for a bit of discipline.
No behavior.
I came down here when I was about 15, and I did my last year. I was sent to a school down here for discipline, and the school was William Penn, and I couldn't believe
you're a Penn lad. You're a Penn. Okay.
Yeah, so I did the last year at William Penn
in Dulwich. Dulwich side, isn't it? Dulwich, yeah. William Penn.
Highly disciplined school, you know. So,
right. It was just full of black boys. It was just full of black boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you came down. Oh, seeing at 15. So, what was that? I mean, what was the experience like? So when you came, was it a culture change from Birmingham? Was it a big culture change from there to come in here?
Yeah, I think
more to the point. Did the behavior change?
Yeah. You have to change. You had to change your behavior, man. You know, sort of came down here. First thing, because I didn't experience black and white clubs. Do you understand the difference? You know, up north, there's clubs for everybody. You go in there, you know, white people are in there dancing in the middle of the floor. You know, whether it's a blues. Do you understand? So it's only when I really came down here I saw like there's black and white clubs. Do you understand? So that was one of the things. The other thing was. If you got into a fight, what you'd end up doing is, I mean, if you sort of like, if you hit somebody and they fell on the floor, you kind of wait till they get up. Yeah. The first fight I saw down here, a guy slipped on the floor and I saw someone jump up in the air and stamp all over him. So I kind of decided that, there's no more Mr. Nice Guy, man. Not at all. So those were the two main things, really. You know, we kind of had to change your attitude a little bit more, you know.
Was that the point that you thought that you'd go into maybe a discipline that would help you protect yourself and protect others?
I think I needed, I was always sort of like a energetic guy, so I needed something that was going to reflect, really, something I could put some energy into, you know. And so I found Muay Thai. I walked into a gym down at Old Kent Road, Paragon, and I walked in there and I couldn't believe there's people out there that could fight. I mean, I thought I could fight, man. I walked in there and I saw what was in there, and I thought, now I've got to have some of this. You know, so that was gone.
And that's another thing that I did know. I mean, the first time I met your daughter, I didn't, because you're pretty broad anyway. So I thought you just into like weightlifting and everything else that security at the time did. But you was into martial arts. Yeah.
I used to fight professionally. I think my last pro fight was '96. I should have had a world title at 21, but it's a long story, politics and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I was doing, I think. Yeah, no, I think.
Calvin, we got time for that story, you know. It's an unlimited hour podcast.
It's not all about me, man. I'll be talking. You'll be sleeping, you know.
So you could have.
Sorry.
So,
Go on, sorry.
so let me just go to this world title thing. So you fought for a world title.
No, they. Long story, they didn't turn up. It was all set up. Everything they didn't turn up. So it was a little bit of a setup, really.
So you were supposed to. So the event was supposed to take place.
Yeah.
And then the rematch, and then it didn't take place.
There was politics within the camp, and my camp got kind of outcasted because it wouldn't sort of conform. It wouldn't conform to the associations that were sort of created. And the instructor being a black guy as well, I basically chose loyalty kind of over my, I stuck with loyalty as opposed to chasing my dreams. The fight was out there, but there was other people stepping forward, offering me the fight, but I would have had to leave my camp to do it, and I wouldn't do that. So because of that, kind of cost me in a way. So
very principled, as I know you are as well. Just before I go to Gary, so did you go into security just after that, or was you doing security while he was fighting and training and going up the ladder?
Well, believe it or not, when I was at school, when I come down here, I used to go before I went William Penn. I used to go and clean offices in the West End, at school at Trafalgar Square for 2 hours before school. Wow. I never told anybody this, right? And then I hooked up with a guy.
And what was that? Just to earn some money, just to put some money in your pocket?
Just some money. Yeah. I was living alone at the time, so so just had to earn some money. Then I sort of hooked up with a guy called Neville Brown. He's from over sort of Harrow sides, and he introduced me into security. Used to started off doing exits for a couple of weeks, and then was and it just started from there. To be honest, I think I told everybody I was 22 for about 8 years. I was always young, so I was young out there, and they say, "Oh, well, I'm 22 for years." I was telling them I was 22. So
wow.
Hey, mate, I mean, you still look young, son. You look. I mean, I don't see no grey there. So you're looking fine, Gary. You're looking fine, Cal. Gary,
nice.
Gary. So, you're a Southeast Londoner, born and bred in Lewisham, in the borough of Lewisham. What secondary school did you go to, Gary?
Catford Boys.
You're Catford Boys, man. Okay, all right, cool. And after that, you went to South East London College.
Yep, Celtic.
Which came to be known as Lewisham College.
Mm-hmm.
What was a young Gary like?
Well, coming from Catford Boys, we was always competitive in all aspects of life. I suppose I'd say we always wanted to get on, and we always felt that my particular year, we had we were the alpha males in the school, so to speak.
You're the rude boys, yeah?
No, we're the rude boys. We were very academic, but you know what I mean? We had that competitive edge all the time. And that transformed into being an all-boys school. We used to have a lot of punch-ups, you know what I mean? We used to have a lot of competitions, pull-up competitions, press-ups. We was always like trying to compete with each other. And that led me to the gym, getting into bodybuilding quite early, just to increase the power.
Where was that? What gym did you go in Lewisham?
This is where swimming baths, it was called at the time.
Right.
And Richard Simpson, if you know Coming Up Takeaway.
Yeah.
He actually was the first person that introduced me to weightlifting.
Wow.
Back when I was about 17, 18. So I'm not giving the props for that. And at that age now, we just about started going out, I think to a club called 10 on Brownhill Road in Catford.
Brownhill Road in Catford, on the one way.
Yeah, and we were just at that age where we started going to Oasis nightclubs. And I remember we're up and coming young bodybuilders, and the doorman at Oasis was huge. It just looks fantastic. Super massive. And he said, "Yeah, this is us, you know. This is the look that we want." And 18 stone was the minimum cut-off point that we had to hit at all means necessary. So young Gary was pursuing a lot of my childhood, putting on size. in concurrently running, I was at university doing my degree in interior designing.
Oh, excellent.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah, I got a 2-1 on that. I was very artistic as well.
Okay. So at what point then did the security come in? Because you're doing the bodybuilding, you're going to uni. So when or what did security, when did you say, I've got a passion for that then?
It was about money making. A friend of mine, Delroy, who actually was the D in the D&G, he was doing security at house dances in those, blues dances in those days. So we started doing the door at 19, 20, because by then we had like some good stature on us. Blues dances for sounds like Silox, Excelsior, Atra, those kind of house parties. It's 50 people getting, or head people call it. And those days you just had to physically hold the door with your foot. You know?
People wouldn't try and get in. So
you hold the front door, you wait until the edge. You know what I mean? Got handed over, and then you let the people in. And that's what got us into security work.
Oh my days. Okay, so and on that point, let me just give some examples of the security firms like that, because then I want to know what security firms, and Gary's kind of touched on it, but did any of these also, did you look at some of these security firm names I'm going to name and say, oh yeah, I may want to be like that, I don't want to be like that? So I'm going to name them. Rat Security. You had Renford. I forgot what Renford's security firm was named. There was Eddie at Night Moves with his security firm. You had Egan and Bernie over East London there. You had Louis Oasis firm was at Oasis, and I can't remember the names of the gentlemen he had on the door with him. Freddie Daly, Solid Gold Security with Streaky, Martin, Sammy, and Karen from over North London there, and Benji. You had Wolf and Dave Securities, but they was probably after you anyway. They was. But those older ones, was there any security firm that you looked up to in the day apart from, I know you said Oasis, Gary, Calvin, was there any security firm that you looked up to in the day you said, yeah, I want to be like them?
I don't think there was I mean, you know, I don't think there was a security firm you looked up to and said you want to be like them. You're just out there doing, you know, you're going to work, you understand, you know. One thing, you know, me and Gary used to laugh at when we used to do night moves, we always just turn around and say, we used to look at Eddie on the door and think, you know, never want to get to his age and be standing up on the door, man. You're joking. we used to laugh about it all the time. We said, never.
And you're still here. I just still here. I first met you both. I think, if I remember rightly, I remember going to some of the dances that Gary was on the door at now. Back in the day, but where I became kind of friends with you guys was at Kings on the Rye, down in Dulwich there for Trevor Night Moves, because Night Moves used to co-own that, and that's the first time that I saw you guys on the door there. What are some of your memories of holding the door at Kings on the Rye? In fact, how did you get bring in, or did you get the contracts for that?
Well, I went there partying one night with my older brother, and Keith was the head doorman at the time, and I turned up there. I was spilling out of the top that I had on, and Keith said to me, he said, "Yeah, you know, you got the right profile for this game. You know, actually doing security work." And I hadn't done club establishments before, so I wasn't quite too sure. You know what I mean? I was used to some house dances, and a friend of mine, Vincent Barrett, was already doing security work in the city. And he said, "Gal, you know what I mean? It's good money, and you know you can just fit it in on the weekends, and it won't interrupt your studying." Gary, so if I was you, I'll go for it. And that's what got into it.
Those days, Gary, did you need a badge, or could you just walk in and get a security job just like that?
No, in those days, each borough had their own individual badge.
All right.
So you would either be registered on the Luton Borough, Southwark Borough, Westminster Borough. So at one stage we had about 9 badges. like working across London for different clubs. Before they amalgamated it into just the one
Like
SIA.
some army decorated officer.
Yeah, it was one of those scenarios.
Is there a requirement to be a security guard though? Because I think you touched on it. You had sides. I mean, when you guys employ or look at to employ people to work with you, do they have to have like the 52-inch chest? You know what I mean? The 14-inch biceps. You know what I mean? How do they have to look?
Like me, Ray. Like me. I got the bomber jacket. I got the black jacket. Got the camo hat.
And
would you employ him? Would you employ him?
All that's missing is the visor, Rich.
Well,
and I'm weapons trained as well, by the way. I'm weapons trained on the 2.2 rifle and also the PPK, which is a blank firer, but don't worry about it.
You're right about firing blanks there, mate. But
just like most things, I think people's initial reaction is a visual one. And then they go by the look, first of all. Not saying that a bigger security is better than a smaller one, but that initial impact,
as we found out,
yeah, we worked out quite quickly that people would, automatically show a different type of respect for a larger security than a smaller one. After that, you've got to make sure you've got the right temperament, the right attitude to the game. But yeah, that first reaction.
Do you guys do a lot of training in conflict resolution for your role?
It's part of the criteria, but
I think
being a martial artist.
I think personally speaking, I mean, for me, what makes a good, a good doorman or security is somebody that's used to communicating with people. Do you understand? I mean, for me, dealing with probably your worst case scenario, which is the road, if you want to call it that. I'm from the road. There's nothing that's out there that I haven't seen. Do you understand? So when these guys come and they're trying to show you something that you haven't seen, you understand? I think it's all about temperament. Fighting's always, it's easy. Do you understand? But it's the control that's hard. So I've found a lot of the big guys over the years. You put trusted them because they're big. The minute it goes off, man, all of a sudden they're nowhere to be seen. Yeah. And that's a known fact throughout. Not everybody, but there's a lot of big guys out there, and they're in the job because of their size, how they look. But when it comes to performing, it's a totally different thing.
And sometimes you could take 5-6 years before you realize that you're working with someone that didn't have the heart for the game.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start at the beginning then. So you're the first. You're the first. Well, one of the first people or persons to get to a club. When you get to the club, or wherever that you're working at that night for that security event, what's one of your first jobs that you will do as a security?
Well, we'll do a little site recce first of all. Check the fire escapes. Find out if there's any specific criteria that the individual promoter has been told by the management. Once we've got that, we'd have a security meeting and a little briefing on how we expect to deploy the staff for that day.
I would have done a little bit of groundwork before, ears to the ground. I want to know what happened last week. You understand? Yeah. Or the weeks coming up, if the place has had any issues. Because it's 9 times out of 10 you're getting called in to deal with something that has gone bad already. So we need to know exactly what's gone on. If there's been problems, issues, beforehand, then if I'm going to be there next week, I'm probably going to find out who's got the issues, who's got the problems, and kind of pre and let them know beforehand that you're coming down this week. We'll be here. That's my way of dealing with things.
Okay. Keep the peace. So cool. So you've got to the venue, you've secured it, you've had a recce, you're in place. The crowd, it's time now, and they're starting to walk up.
Well, it depends what darts it is. Sometimes it might be empty before the doors open.
Okay, but let's take it that they've got a crowd. Otherwise, this conversation isn't going to go very far, is it, Reggie? Anyway.
Guys, this ain't a production meeting. Yeah, this is the real thing.
Yeah, but anyway, what is your guys' problems with trainers? What's the
Well, do you know what?
Anytime you want me to step in, G, you let me know.
Yeah. I'm going to take you back to Silks and Spice, where we introduced a policy called hard shoes only.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. If your shoes wasn't making noise when you was walking down the street, you weren't coming in. Because we started to realize whether you was a road man or not, wearing hard shoes, you wasn't in the fighting mood. You didn't have that stability to be bouncing around, looking excitement. And I found that trainers gave people that freedom of, what is something on there? We can do this. But your temperament changed when you was wearing hard shoes. So that is why most establishments that we worked at, we insisted the promoter said hard shoes only.
Calvin?
I mean, the thing with trainers, soft shoes, there's a certain type of crowd that you probably wouldn't want in your venue. Do you understand? Gang members are not putting on hard shoes. Full stop. It's not happening. Do you understand? Yeah. If they turn up, they're in the Gucci or their Pradas, yeah, right? And it's hard shoes, they're going home. It doesn't matter how you can offer them shoes if you want. They're not putting them on. You understand? So obviously with a lot of sort of gang activity and a lot of stuff going out on the road, it's kind of a siphoning point that kind of neutralizes things before they start, So that was one of the things, really.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give you guys a kind of example of Gary and Calvin's temperament with soft shoes? So I have at both times crossed their path wearing trainers and coming to one of their events that they're on the door. So Gary's approach is, so Gary sees me coming up, Gary's at the like, oh no, why are you coming trainers for? Did you have to make it so loud? Gary, is there? Yeah. And then like Gary will say, Ray, just stand over there for a minute. Gary, but Ray, I'm coming to you. So that's Gary's approach. Mm-hmm. And probably in the end, I will get in, but I will get told off. You get me? I'll get a telling off from Gary. Calvin's approach, huh?
That's only because we like to be firm but fair.
I know.
Because DJs like to believe that the rules didn't apply to them. Yeah. And that's all of like you lot on the screen, yeah.
Calvin's approach now. When you go to Calvin and you're walking up to Calvin, all Calvin's doing, his face is straight, he's just looking at you. So you'll approach Calvin. Calvin still hasn't said a word. So you go up to Calvin, and Calvin will just be looking at you like, and then you go, okay, I know I've got trainers on. Calvin's still looking at you like, he just say, Ray. And that's it. And then he'll tell me a few minutes later, yeah, I can walk in. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. But the difference in approach, right? I mean, they both get rid of it, but you still, and I know as a DJ, I'm not supposed to. I know. Let me just.
No, but Ray, were they trainers or were they fashion?
They don't care. They don't care. Listen, when Pradas came in and it was trainers to Pradas, they think they cared. Yeah. Gary, they were both trainers. As far as they're concerned, they were trainers.
Do you remember Text Me? I think, who was it that Text Me that ended up making a lucrative business of buying shoes from the because we never ever allowed anybody to come in to Text Me with trainers. And I think somebody, if I remember rightly, was making a lucrative trade of renting the shoes to customers.
That was Gary. It wasn't.
I'll see the thing on that.
Yeah,
that was Gary.
Well, it was lucrative. It was lucrative for a couple of years.
It was on text. Yeah.
And people done it willingly because they were desperate to get in.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Who's the worst offender?
Say it again.
Who's your worst offender
In what respect?
of trying to get in with trainers?
Oh no, let's not go there. I'll plead the fifth on that one.
Is that a long list or is it a short list?
No, it's quite a long list actually.
Fun and joke aside, from the customer point of view, whether it's the owners, yeah, I mean, everybody knows me. Listen, make up your mind. It's one way or another. Yeah, I'm not going to turn people away in trainers and then let the owner come in or in his brother and their family come in with trainers. That doesn't make no sense to me. Do you understand? And you're trying to run a fair ship. Do you understand, right? And you're meeting a lot of people that are they're against you anyway because you're authority. Yeah, and in their world they don't accept no. You understand? It's disrespectful, right? So then what happens is you'll have a problem. Basically, somebody's gone. I mean, somebody's gone and somebody's pulled out, come back with a gun because we won't let them in the club with trainers. Do you understand, right? While everybody's in there partying, enjoying themselves, we're out there, we're defending this premises. You understand me? And then, obviously, whatever's happened, happens. We deal with the issue. And then you've got some promoter or someone come in and they want to come with trainers. They just don't understand.
Yeah.
You with me?
But at the same time, those same people, we used to say to them, hold on, brother, you went all the way home to get your firearms and you couldn't put on a pair of shoes.
They're not interested. It's disrespectful. You understand? Yeah.
But you took that time to drive home and come back, pick up a pair of shoes.
And what about jeans? What's your policy when you see guys turn up in jeans?
True religion.
There's one where you say smart jeans can come in, but road jeans can't come in. Or
501s are true religions. Which one can pass?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't like anybody knows me. I don't play. The jeans are no, seriously. Yeah, listen. There's either no jeans, you understand, or there's jeans. There's no in between. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to hear nothing about they're £200 and £300 and they cost more than my suit. I don't want to hear nothing at all. Yeah, right. It's one way or the other for me. Do you understand? And if the promoter on the night is sitting down and begging me to let jeans in, I'm going to let him know. Yeah, that's if I decide I'm going to let that person in, which I doubt it. But if I do, everybody with jeans is coming in, and it's simple as that. It's simple. You know what I mean? That's how it is for me.
What would make it easier for you guys? Jeans? Do you want to see people wearing jeans, or you don't want to see jeans at all?
I've got no problem with jeans. Once the dress code's been stipulated at the beginning of the evening, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But don't be changing it halfway through the night.
My problem is this. It's our job to keep the place safe and keep a certain clientele out. Yeah. The difference is if you are putting on an event that you spent money, you're getting people to dress up. Yeah. When the road turns up, they're not in trousers. They're in jeans. They won't wear trousers. Do you understand? It's jeans and soft shoes. Do you understand? So already, we've got something to talk about. You understand me? If you want to talk, if you want to turn around and start talking about, letting this jeans. So you're letting one man with jeans, and then somebody comes with ripped jeans. Yeah. To that person, jeans are jeans. You understand? So now all of a sudden, it's something that's personal.
So no jeans policy, and then the ladies come with their ripped jeans.
Well, you know me. She still ain't coming in. She ain't coming. She's not coming in.
Again, right? Some promoters would say, "Oh, we don't mind women in jeans." So some of them, cause problems by saying that. So the men can't come in with jeans, women can.
Yeah,
then the men hit the corner and say, "Well, why is she coming in with jeans?" And then we argue.
On that note,
is only about us being able to differentiate who has come to the venue with the mindset of adherence.
Yeah.
So straight away, when you see someone that's turned up without the right dress code, straight away, they're not for here. So that's what the dress code is really about.
Do you know what I want to ask you off the back of that? Now you mentioned women. Who is the most sneakiest person at sneaking things that aren't supposed to be in a club? Is that males or is that females?
Females.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What kind of contraband have you found, and what part?
No, we don't really want to know about contraband.
No. The thing is, it depends on the. It depends. It depends. I mean, you know, women. I don't trust none of them. Do you understand? Yeah? No. Listen.
I wouldn't go that far.
Hold on, Gary. Don't let me remind you that I'm not mentioning names. Yeah. Somebody used to come king on the rye every week. Yeah. And was your guest. Yeah. I'm not mentioning names, right? And I see this girl come in and Gary say, yeah, she's fine. I looked at this. I was watching this girl, man. You with me, right? And the one week she turned up. Yeah. You think she was coming all the time? Yeah. The 1 week she come up and Gary was upstairs. I said, yes. Come in. I said, you got to take a search today. She said, what? I said, yeah, I'm going to have to look in your bag, I'm afraid. Yeah. She got the biggest bottle of drink in there. Yeah. You know, so then, you know, Gary's come downstairs. She looked, oh, sorry. No problem. Yeah. She came the next week. I swear to you, in over a year, this is the first time Gary said to her, oh, you know, you'll have to check the till this week. She's like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, you know, there's a promoter on, you'd have to pay to come in this week. She went ballistic. You big lip, bro.
Let's be specific. That's what, yeah.
You wouldn't believe it, mate.
But you know? Kelvin, you're muted at the moment, so you can say what name it is.
No.
I saw her 2 weeks ago as well. Yeah.
But that leads me to a generalization in this game that I feel it's one of the very few professions that you meet or make genuine enemies, but very seldom make genuine friends.
Right. Yeah.
People that talk to you for years, one incident on the front door that they don't get their way on, they don't talk to you again. They hate you for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
But
and also I'd like to add, you know, what people don't understand, even, you know, security is something I take serious. That's why even doing this thing, everybody knows my life has been private. You understand me? Yeah. You know, I don't, you know, it's always been private and I've always kept it that way. But what the thing is, it's a job you do that never stops. Do you understand me? If you have a problem with somebody tonight, you better know when you're in Tesco tomorrow or Waitrose, yeah, and you see that person and you're there with your missus and your children, yeah, and there's 2, 3, 4 of them, you better know this job is still ongoing.
Yeah.
You understand?
So how do you deal with that type of stuff? Do you have to take special precautions? Do you have to check underneath your car every time you come out?
I'll give you a scenario on that. One bashment raid that we did, it went south, and we had to fold a couple of men up on the door that day. And I remember I was going Brixton, and I stopped off at a Caribbean taker on Acre Lane. And I just got out the car. Lucky enough, I just came out the gym, so you know what I mean. I was looking about it. You get me?
Hench. You're looking hench.
Went into the Caribbean takeaway. 8 yardies in there, the same ones that was at the dance that we had to fold the weekend before. And I went in there and I clocked them straight away. But I'm already like 2 feet inside the door, so you can't now, you know what I mean, change your agenda. So I walked in and I was after a large meal of chicken and rice. Mm-hmm. But I thought, you know what? Right about now, none of them are trying to make eye contact with me. So I just said, yeah, give me a beef patty. Got the beef patty, and I asked all 8 of them. And one of them said, all right, security, yeah, all right. I said, yeah, I'm cool, brother. And I just bounced out. I didn't even want the patty. It was hard, crispy, rubbish. Threw it away. But you have to hold your ground.
Yeah.
I mean,
24/7.
To be honest, I mean,
sorry for putting down, but that's more prevalent, I find, on black circuits.
Right.
Not being funny, when we've worked at white pubs, if it goes wrong, you have to bust up a couple of them. Next week, they want to buy you a drink.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that, mate. I was out of order last week. You know what I mean? Yeah, let me buy you a drink. At black establishments, when it's gone pear-shaped, that's an enemy that you better keep
Watch
an eye
out.
on for a long time to come.
Mm.
They take it
Calvin,
very
you,
personally.
yeah, Calvin,
Yeah.
just about to say something.
To be honest, for me, you know, what you see is what you get. Yeah. So, you know, if I've got to turn you away from a club, right, I guarantee you 200% it's because of something you've done. You understand? Or you're not dressed correctly, right? So as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the right already. I'll make sure none of my men will be disrespectful to you. Do you understand? Yeah. I'll always say please and thank you. Do you understand? Right? Right. So we've established this already. As far as I'm concerned, the person that you're meeting at the door, if I've got 50 guys in there, yeah, I am the same person that you're going to meet tomorrow. So when I see you and you're with your 5, 6 friends, yeah, and then you turn around, I want to be throwing it. You better know I'm backing, yeah, exactly what I was backing yesterday. Does that make sense? I'm not,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I'll talk to you exactly the same way. I don't care where you come from, what you're doing. Do you understand? Like, you know, we're not saying we're out here looking for trouble, but yeah, you're gonna meet the same person. If it's off last night, it's gonna be off today. There's a difference. When I'm standing on the door, I get paid to deal with your shit. Do you understand? Yeah. When we're out on the road, all of a sudden it's a totally different thing now. So you know, it's up to you, and that's not. It's not bragging or nothing. It's just how it is and how I've survived. I don't. You understand? I'm not going to sit down there and be one person with you now, and then tomorrow be another. This is me. This is how I am, and I've always been that way.
100%.
You know, so
we're going to go on to talk more about that, but before we do that, I just want to talk about a couple of things at this point. You talked about searching women, searching their bags. At that point, it was a very male-orientated business. You've now worked with some female personnel that have come into it. What skills have they brought to your whole team? Because it's a team thing, isn't it? So what have they brought to that?
Well, obviously they can search women more intimately now. Like where we couldn't really go around like the bra area is like just general coat pockets and bags. Now the female security can go a little bit deeper, and we can, you know, get a more thorough job done. So they have, you know, come at a good time. Do
they soften your not soften your approach as in, you know, you're soft, but do they bring other skills to the game that maybe just having a male orientated firm you haven't got, but when they come in, you know, there's a bit more skills there for you?
I would say so. There's times
definitely.
There's times that I'm interacting with a female and my security officer will come over, and a female security officer come over and said, "It's all right, Gary, I've got this," because she can see it from a female's perspective. And we've got a policy if even amongst the males, I could be in a conversation with you that's not going the right way. If my associate sees that it's not going the right way and he feels that he can do a better job, if he comes in and taps me and says, "Yeah, I've got this, Gary," I'm professional enough to step away. I'm not going to say, "Well, I'm head man, so I'm going to continue." He might see something that I haven't seen, and it happens a lot with the females. So yeah, they're a very good addition. Even though some clubs still only insist on just males because they look on the in case it kicks off scenario. But I think females are integral on all doors now.
At this point, what I want to do is just pause a minute from the club work, and we're going to come back to the club work. We've got some pictures that the producers have in the back. I'm going to start on Calvin first, and these are some of the caliber of people that you've worked with over the years and that you protect. So it's not just us at clubs and events. You also do. Is it close protection or is that what you call it when you're working with celebrities? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, close protection, sort of, bodyguarding, whichever
So,
suits you really, yeah.
So producers, can I have 3 of Calvin's shots for now of people that he's worked with?
You are having a laugh. Yeah,
and that's young Pharrell. There. Look at Gary getting his fingers right. Look, he's got his P, look, he's got all of them in the end. Can we have another one? No, that's actually Dylan White. So I don't know what he's doing there. Yeah, that's still Dylan White. Can we have Calvin?
Yeah,
that's Black Rock, right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
So rest in peace.
Yeah.
You was getting your gangster kind of role there. What was you gonna spit a 16 bar there, Gary? Calvin. What do we do?
Yeah, that's the other side of it, man. You know what I mean?
Producers, can we have another one of Calvin?
Wycliffe in the building.
Jerry Wonder.
Wycliffe. And there's one of your security that's no longer with us, Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah.
And we'll go on to talk about some of the fallen soldiers in a bit. When was that just a natural step for you, Calvin?
Well, so here we go again. I was actually doing close protection from sort of like the late 80s. Do you understand? I've been doing
when we say close protection,
bodyguarding. Yeah.
What, the rich and famous, or just
rich?
I
used to do a lot of the Americans. You understand, like a lot of the artists. But back them days it was a signature, not a picture. You understand? Yeah, it's not like it's today. And also, I always looked at it as unprofessional in asking for signatures, asking for photos and stuff like that. I never really saw. I would always be in the background because that was just never me. So I was doing this for years, and then it's all the limelight, everything else, but there's no money in it. You understand? I'm not here to be famous. I want to get paid. I've got bills to pay. And so what I did, I stepped away from that for years, and then I ended up going back into it. And then what sort of shocked me is that when I went back into it and I was into it, and I was meeting people on the street, even friends I'd known for 15, 20 years, and they're like, "Oh, you started doing close protection." And I'm thinking, hold on a second, what are you talking about? I've been doing this for years. But then I sort of, took a look at it and I thought, well, to be honest with you, I never really talked my business and people didn't really know. So even people that were kind of close to me didn't really know what I was up to, But yeah, it's something that I've done throughout my life, to be honest.
And I also see you on planes, on private planes. So those are some they're not artists. They're just people with a lot of money that you're flying around the world with.
High net worth individuals.
Yeah. I mean, these people that they're important people. Not really in the limelight as such. Do you understand? But there's more money there than there was a point I used to do Diddy every time he come. 50 comes over, I'm with him. All these, your Rihanna's, your Beyonce, and all the rest of it. All these artists, it's all good and well. There's no money there. It's all show. Do you understand? And that's not me, man.
I think we've got a few more of them. That's
You're a joker.
That's Gwyneth Paltrow. Rita Ora, Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I used to look after Kevin every time he come here. Yeah, before he really kicked off.
You look very close there to Mystique.
Yeah, that was years.
That's what's his name from Firing Squad.
Kelvin had a cheeky laugh on that one.
And there you are with Puff Daddy.
Yeah. I used to do Puffy all the time, But yeah, it's good experience. But like I said, man, it's all right for pictures and a lot of the guys in this game, they're all about pictures and likes and all the rest of it. That's not me. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in that. I'm going to work to get paid. Come on, man.
So Gary, now, you have a background as well, dealing with some very important people as well as, and also doing some contracts abroad. I think we've got some images of you up as well, like looking your henchest. You know what I mean? And producer, is there producers there? Can we have some pictures of Gary, please? Because I know we've got some there. You know what I mean? That we'd like to make sure that we show.
Okay.
Are they working or are they sleeping? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do it myself. Let's see what we've got. Oh, there we go. That's the guy. There's a whole load of hench in there, isn't there?
Yeah, that's when the Zante weekend is with untold, the promoter.
Yes. And how much guys do you take there with you?
Depending on ticket sales. That particular year, he had over 2,000 attending. So we had a 28-man squad.
Oh, wow.
Right, nice.
That must be crazy to organise.
That was Cavos weekender.
Yeah.
Uncle Fred. the promoter.
Is there any pictures?
That looks like a turkey weekender.
Oh, you do Turkey weekend as well? Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you need a particular license to operate abroad?
Hey, that's some big. Hey, that's a whole heap of muscles in that picture, yo.
No, the SIA tends to hold value abroad. They just respect that you've done the training, so they don't, pursue any other criteria. That's here again. We're doing that's the Windrush, Radiate Windrush. That's on again this year in Crystal Palace Park.
Oh yes,
right.
Yeah. That's New Year's Eve. For me, myself, and I, at the Excel Centre in the Docklands.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my right-hand man. That's Obi.
Okay.
Obi, yes.
Yeah, clockwise, the Portugal weekender. The bottom right, Ibiza weekender. And the bottom left is us doing Davido in Gambia.
Oh, the artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Davido.
Another one for you. Oh, there's another one there.
This is Raymond.
This is Chris Brown.
With Chris Brown, Alicia Keys, Tyrese,
Usher.
Usher,
Yeah.
Kelly Rowland.
Yeah, all the guys.
Raymond puts a lot of work my way.
Hold on, Gary, were you there? Did you do security at Hackers when we had Chris Brown at Hackers in Friday?
Not that I can recollect.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It must be somebody else.
But hats off to Raymond. He threw quite a few A-listers our way.
He's throwing a few, yeah.
He threw quite a few of them our way coming up, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he used to let him in with his trainers, that's why.
So that's how you do it, then, yeah? Send some A-listers their way and you can get them with trainers.
We're going to take a break there. Yeah, because we've got an artist to come and we're going to... we want you guys to stay because we still got some to cover. So we just don't want you to go anywhere. So don't go anywhere.
No problem.
Don't go anywhere. Just stay here. We have an artist from the United States of America that's here to perform. And we're very happy to have him. So without further ado, producers, if you're there in the background, if you're awake, can you introduce to Set the Trend podcast, JL?
JL in the building.
Yeah, in the building.
What's going on, man?
Hey, that's a voice there, you know. Listen, you hear that voice already, man. How are you, JL?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be
We're
here.
happy to have you as well. When tell us about the singer, JL. Where are you from? What style of music do you sing? Is it neo soul? Is it soul? Is it funk? Or
Well, I'm from a very small city called Bolivar, Tennessee, man, and my style of music is soul, R&B. I grew up in the church, so I was a musician in the church playing drums, and
so you had the beat because the whoever has the drums is the person with the beat, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I was playing drums and everything, man, and started singing at a young age as well. So when I think when I got around 15 years old, I started producing and making my tracks and just practicing until I got better, man. So I've been able to open up a lot of shows and be on a lot of shows with a lot of major artists, man, in my music career. So it's been amazing.
So what type of artists have you opened up for in the past?
Man, everybody. I've been with Tank, Genuine, of course, Urban Mystic, Life Jennings, Avant, John B. The list goes on. There's so many people, man. Everybody, a lot of the artists from the 90s, I've been with them. Most of them, yeah.
So you're an artist you've been putting your work in, it's fair to say.
Yeah, man. I got my own label, own studio. I'm not signed to anyone, man. I've just been independent, my whole music career, man, just grinding really hard, man. And you have to make good music. The music has to be good. The quality has to be good and professional. So, yeah, I've just been doing what I do by myself and just putting the work in, grinding, man.
So what's it like opening up for all those artists that do have record deals, the Genuines and people like that, and you know, mobilizing your team to try and get exactly the same kind of exposure and the same kind of love? Have you found that any difference, or is it a lot more harder and difficult, or has it been you know, a bit more easier, the fact that you're associated with such big names?
Well, you know, a lot of times people, being that they know I have worked with some of the major artists, you know what I'm saying, they respect me because they know that it's not easy to get there. You see what I'm saying? There's people every day trying to grind and trying to get on those stages. So being that I have been on the stages, people they respect me for that. So yeah, man. But like I said, just the experience, just being on the road and being on the shows with these people, man, I've learned a lot, man. You know, just getting out there and just taking from what I'm seeing and learning and put it back into my music career and, you know, going forward.
What I like about JL is, you know, like I normally go out and I seek artists and I find artists and I find a song. I said, who's this? But JL actually found me.
Yeah.
Right? He just listened to one of my live streams and says, yo, I've got some music. He sent me some music. He said, if you can share it out with some of the DJs. So you do a lot of groundwork yourself.
Most definitely. I do all of it myself.
Okay. Where did you get that work ethics from? Where did that come from?
What's that again? I'm sorry.
How did you get that work ethics inside of you?
Oh man, you know, it's just always been in me because, you know, I realized that, man, you know, nobody is a lot of times managers, record labels, and artist development teams and stuff like that. They have to see what you're doing for yourself as well. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not putting the groundwork in yourself, they're not going to believe in you and jump on there and try to, you know, do anything for you. So, man, my whole music career, man, I just been studying YouTube. Just watching YouTube, really just, man, I just doing what I got to do by myself, man, because I just can't, you know, early on in my music career, I couldn't afford a team or I couldn't afford people doing anything for me. So I just had to bust my tail and do it myself. So it's natural to me now. I also have a business degree as well. So, you know, I went to college, got a business degree. Nice. Yeah, but I was already grinding like that before I went to college. You know what I'm saying? So it's just in me. It's really just in me. Honestly.
So JL, what I mean, when you were growing up, maybe what type of artist did you have in mind? You know, that's the type of artist that I look up to and that I can take most of. What kind of artists shared that upper level there of you're thinking?
Well, to be honest with you, man, it's such a blessing, man. But the artist that I looked up to happens to be most of the artists that I've been able to share the stage with. Like Keith Sweat, Calvin Richardson, you know what I'm saying? You know, Urban Mystic. I watched these guys on Soul Train and all that good stuff. And now I'm able to I just put out a single featuring Urban Mystic, for example. So, yeah, I watched those guys, man, coming up, man. And I just took from what they was doing, man, and just capitalized on it, man. And, you know, I'm JL, but I just watched them, and those are, you know, some great guys. And I've been able to build a relationship with those guys as well.
I've got to congratulate you on that, man, because, you know, people have goals and aspirations, and the fact that the people that you look up to, you're actually singing with, that's a great thing. And, you know, many more to you to come.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Good, man. Speaking, so it shall come into existence. JL, what you're going to sing a couple of tracks for us today?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Cool. So before let's get Reggie start to intro you in, and then the floor is all yours.
Right. On the finale, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Set the Trend, the last but not least of the season. We have got an absolute special for you. Pamela, get your thongs ready, because this guy is going to make you throw him a mile. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. JL.
I can't get enough of you.
Never in my life I had somebody make me feel the way you make me feel. Thank y'all for having me. Set the Trend podcast, man. Love y'all. Crazy.
I can't get enough.
Yeah, listen.
I can't get enough. The way that I feel it, I never felt before. You got me twisted, all in my head. I can't ignore. See, I want you in the right way. Take me back to my place. We can talk, girl, for a minute. You don't have to say a word. Just listen. Ooh, can't get enough of you, baby. Wanna be hugging you. I can't get enough of you, baby. roll over when I tap on your shoulder.
Shout out to
in the
Second
morning, baby. Let's enjoy the moment.
Kissing, hugging, touching, loving, we can get it going.
I know you wanna bring that body to the
Worry about the
time in the AM. It's a perfect day just to take another day in.
Yeah,
And in the morning to grab my phone so I can get us some food.
order for two.
I ain't gonna let you be the
Ooh, can't get enough of you, baby. Wanna be hugging you. I can't get enough of you, baby. Closer to me. Do. I can't get enough. Do. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. Do. I can't get enough of you, baby. Wanna be hugging you. I can't get enough of you, baby. I can't get enough. Closer to me. Do. I can't get enough of you. Do. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I can't get enough of you, baby. Wanna be hugging you. I can't get enough of you, baby.
Hope y'all love that one.
Wow.
Hey, that's pretty smooth though, JL. That is pretty
appreciate
smooth.
What a voice. The voice
appreciate
is
that,
just
man.
crystal clear.
I appreciate that, man. Much love.
Wow.
That's one of the
What's that song
songs.
about then? So how did you get into the zone with that song? How did you begin to write that song? What was that? What gave you that?
Man,
inkling?
actually, man, that, I produce a lot of my own music, man. But that particular
Wow.
track, I produce all of my own music, engineer all my own music, write all of my own music. But this particular track, man, came from. It's gonna trip you out, man. This track actually came from a UK producer, and he sent me the track over. And I was just vibing to the track, and came up with the lyrics, man. I sent the song over to a hip hop artist that you heard on the record, and he cut the vocals. Everything just came together, man. So it's just,
What's the name of the UK producer?
His name is Jake J. Johnson.
Jake
in UK.
J. Johnson.
Yeah, he's in UK.
I'll have to watch out for that. I'll have to watch out for him.
That song is available on the new album. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, it's available on the new album. We have a video out on YouTube. You can check the video out on YouTube as well. Enough of You, JL.
No, I thought you was a new artist. It's the first time I heard of you, and then I was going through my CDs today, and then I found this little thing here.
Oh man, wow! Hey, that's throwback, man. That's my first album, man. That's
So this is the first album. When did this come out?
Man, that came out like around 13, man. 13 or 14. Yeah, that's
Can
a
you
long time
remember,
ago.
guys? You remember MySpace?
You know what? I just told a
MySpace?
story. I just told a story. That particular record came out in 2007.
Wow.
Yeah. And I do remember MySpace, man. Yeah, I was grinding on MySpace as well. You know what? I was sending, man, through CD Baby. I was sending a lot of music over to UK and a lot of different places, man. That's when CDs was popular, man. So I was sending.
Can I just apologize for not ever even coming across your music? I do apologize.
Man. Look, man. Hey, check out the new music, man. It's going on, man.
It's fire.
We got you now. We've definitely got you now.
Yeah, I got a new project out, man. Just released a couple weeks ago called JL versus J Lake. It's on all digital outlets, man. So y'all make sure y'all check that out.
Okay. Is the next song coming from that album, or is it different?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming from the new album. Yes.
And what's this song about? Before you get into it,
it's called One of a Kind. It's talking about my woman is one of a kind. It's talking. Me and Urban Mystic is on the song, and we talked about being out on the road and meeting different women and that type of thing. But nobody is like the woman that you have at home. So my woman is one of a kind. Wow. And I'm gonna let Urban Mystic. Verse play in the song so y'all can hear how he came on the song as well.
No doubt. The floor is all yours.
All right, here we go.
One of a kind. Oh yeah, ain't a thing out in those
Look like this.
My woman, she is real good. Always treat me right. She always got my back through the ups and downs, happy or sad. She makes it all right. Yes, she does. No need for running around, playing out in the streets. I got a good woman at home, and she just what I need. My girl is one of a kind, one of a kind. Oh yeah, out in those streets. Nobody like the one I love. I searched all over. My girl is one of a kind, one of a kind. Yes sir. Not a thing, not a thing, not a thing.
Can I get a witness? Urban Mystery, y'all.
I done made up my mind. I ain't running no more.
Ain't running no more.
I got a woman at home.
Got a woman at home.
And she ain't no joke.
And she ain't no joke.
She make me breakfast in the morning time.
That's right.
Say her prayers when I'm asleep.
When I sleep.
I don't know about the woman you want, but boy, that's just the woman I need. I made up my mind.
Made up my mind.
2 boys I'ma get her.
Oh yeah.
When I found out that this woman just made me better, I got her.
One of a kind. I found out, y'all.
Ain't a thing out in those streets.
Not a thing, not a thing, not a thing I've tried. And my girl is
One of a
one of a kind. Oh yeah, yeah.
Ain't a thing out in
Not a thing, not a thing, not a thing, not a thing
I've
I've tried.
And I've searched, I've got her.
one of a kind.
One of a kind.
Oh yeah.
Ain't a thing out.
Every time I turn around, my baby is right there. My girl is
One of a kind.
one of a kind. She's been mighty good to me, y'all.
I don't know about the woman you want, but boy, that's just the woman I
The
need.
woman I need.
One of a kind.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
Oh yeah.
Ain't a thing out in those streets.
Jill and I got a one of a kind.
Yes, sir.
That's one of a kind featuring Urban Mystic, y'all.
Big.
Yo, you got a voice there, man.
Yeah,
you got
man.
a voice
Appreciate
there.
it.
One day I'll be able to say to a lady, "You're one of a kind."
Hey, you need to, man. You might get lucky.
Well, as you can see, costume changed. You know, since we got the security here, you know.
Oh yeah, most
So,
definitely.
JL, if people want to connect with you, what are your social handles? Where can people find you?
Man, you can find me on all over every social media platform, man, at I am J Lake. That's IAMJLAKE. My website is www.soullinkmusic.com. That's 1 L, man. Y'all check me out.
Can they buy your music on your website?
Yeah, actually you can, but my music is available on all digital outlets. So wherever you get your music or wherever, just put in my new album, JL versus J Lake EP, and it's gonna pull up, man. You can find my music all over the place.
And at some point, you're gonna come to the UK.
I'm ready to come to UK. I'm working with Michael now. We're trying to make it happen at some point.
Oh my days, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. JL, thank you for coming on Set the Trend podcast.
No, thank you so much. Thank
We'll
you.
see you soon, yeah?
Thank you.
All right, bless. Thank you. Oh, hey, that was some music, man. He can sing, man.
What?
Do you guys
What a voice.
like you guys always working? Do you guys ever get to? No, maybe I shouldn't ask that question. You know, no, I'm not going to ask it. So here what? Let me.
Do you ever get to enjoy the music?
Yeah, I had to check myself.
No, do you ever get a chance to enjoy the music when you're out? Is that what you was gonna say?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was saying. Do you ever get the chance to enjoy it, or are you always programmed to think about the whole event?
Well, more than that, I tend to be on the front door, so I tend to miss.
Yeah,
most of-
so can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's about work, man. You know, you might hear the odd tune, but you know, your mind's not on that. Your mind's on the end of the night. Yeah?
But you guys are like the head guys. Yeah, you got a team of security, 15 guys working, and one of your members hears a tune and there's a girl over there and they want a little quick rub. What would you say if one of your team members you caught them dancing with a lady?
Was Trench, but he no
Good
longer
night.
works for Gary.
Yeah, not for me. You know, my guys. You know, there's
No,
two
disrespect, you know.
things we don't do. Yeah, we don't dance with girls on cigarette breaks. Yeah.
Do you know what I like to ask you guys? And what people don't realize, and you're saying that you're always out on the front door, and this is even in -2, -3, -4. Like you're freezing your 6 knots off, and you're still out there in the cold. I mean, how do you adjust to that?
Good question.
I think it's something that you just get used to. I mean, you know, you want if there's a problem and you're inside the club or inside the door, then there's a problem you've got to take outside. Do you understand? So if we can potentially stop the problem from getting in to the club, half the job's done already. Do you understand? We don't have to get physical with anybody if they're outside already. So I mean, you just go to work. You're just prepared for it, and you know, you dress up, wrap up. That's why you
thermals on. We what?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Well, the whole 9.
Listen, Canada Goose is good these days, man. Canada Goose jackets are very good these days.
But generally, you lead by example, Ray.
But yeah, you'd be obviously Gary's mic's quiet. But yeah, you'd just be wrapping up. I think I went through a stage where I was putting Vaseline on my head, you know, because it gives you a little bit extra protection and kept in the warm.
That's a new one.
Do you know what I want to ask as well? Yeah, just before we go into some more in-depth questions about security work, let me ask Calvin first, because I'm going to give Gary time to prepare for this. Calvin, what do you do on your downtime? So when you're unwinding, what do you do when you're away? What's a pastime for you?
To be honest, training, man. Training. You know, training. You know, I like cars. You know, I used to enjoy driving, going for a drive. But really, sort of downtime is training, man, and just relaxing. That's all.
Okay.
You know, and I know it might sound sad, but yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Gary, this is something that I didn't know, which we found out. So you are a poet laureate, or a laureate poet. So you actually, in your downtimes, you write poems, Gary. How you been hiding such talent?
Interior designer, poet, yes.
I've written poems for years. I actually wrote my first poem in primary school, and I won a.
Mine's not working, is it?
Yeah.
At the age of 10.
You know, Gary's saying, "Damn, how did you guys know that?"
I know.
Gary. So what we want? So Gary, can we hear one of your poems?
What, my first one from primary school?
Listen, we want to hear one of your poet. Any poet, just give us a poem. We just want to hear some of your work, Gary.
Oh, I'll give.
Gary Shakespeare, the floor
Proper
is yours.
intro.
I'll give you a poem that I wrote for my final dissertation for my degree. My design thesis was the architecture of death. So I went into trying to discover what buildings encapsulated death, starting from the pyramids to cenotaphs, mausoleums, and so on. And I wrote a poem in Brockley Cemetery.
Wow.
And it goes like this. I walked amongst the dead today, or the place where they had laid. And if one before had doubted God, I know right now he prayed. A feeling that came over me was one of peace and tranquility. To know that such a place exists where one could come and reminisce and spend a moment with a friend who in life one would never see again. All was still yet full of life. I did not feel alone. I walked amongst a resting place that one day would become my own.
Amazing.
Shakespeare in the building.
I think we found a replacement for Vibes the Duke.
No, listen, he's more special than me because I didn't know he could do that. I mean, he might be able to like pick up a microphone and chat some lyrics.
I've got pages at home, pages.
So have you ever thought of publishing any of your poems?
People have been on me for years too. I'll have to compile all of them together, and when I retire from this door work, I'll see what I can muster together.
Wait, when the next time you do Coco, give him the version.
I think so. I think Dodd and the old Hollywood there will have to park up for a bit, and Barry White, and we'll have to like have Gary on the mic there.
You know what?
Talking
about lines, right, and poetry, and whilst we're on the subject, what's some of the best lines you've heard from people to try and get into clubs?
I can tell you one off my head. Not about getting into a club, about this man that we ejected one day at Illusions. He was running off his mouth, whatever. Rob, you got to go. You're coming out. So the guy said, Milwaukee. So I said, bro, make way outside. And I was just about to put my hand on him. And he said to me, put your hand upon me and see if my sons don't descend on this place like pigeons. And he said that, yeah. I could just visualize pigeons like scrapping over a piece of bread on the. Listen, I laugh. I said, all right, brother, walk outside. And that was man. But yeah, people come with some sweet chat, man, and each time someone comes with new dialogue, you take it on board and you kind of add it to your arsenal. You know what I mean? So that you're ready for any other different chat that is similar. You know how to compel it. You know what I mean? You know, a man would turn up and say, you know, do you know who I am? Before you say no. Yeah, we say, yeah, we do know who you are. I mean, we don't give a toss. You start to adapt from the different dialogue that you hear, you know?
What about you, Calvin?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear Gary, by the way, so I'm just nodding. Yeah.
Okay. So Gary gave an example of one of the best, a line that someone's used to stay in a club. But we also asked what's one of the best lines that you've heard for someone who wanted to get into a club.
I think one that sticks out for me was a woman come down to a club and she said her baby father left to get some nappies, yeah, and he hasn't come back and she knows he's in the club. And could she go in there to see him, so we found it funny and we escorted her in, and the guy was he had locks and she literally dragged him out by his locks. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Honestly. That would never leave me.
Did you try and manage the situation, or did you just like leave that one alone?
Yeah, left it alone, man. Left it alone. That was a story for a very long time. Very long time.
Somebody earlier also asked, about people asking about DJs, like when they come to the door saying, this person's my cousin and this other person's my cousin.
I mean that sound.
Yeah, which DJ is the most the
annoying
the person who gets associated with most? Fifth Avenue, Special Touch, Studio Express. Who has the biggest family?
Studio One.
Patrick.
I love Bezo to death, but I tell you what, he can be very testing when he's ready. But yeah, they're all good.
What about you, Calvin?
To be honest, yeah, it's just down to the promoter on the night, because obviously people turn up to people's events. Everybody's family, everybody's friends. There's it doesn't matter what color they are. They're related. You know what I mean? As soon as it comes to there's an issue getting in, or they don't want to pay, then they become family. Yeah. If they, to be honest, I haven't actually experienced somebody saying it's my dad. You understand?
Okay.
It's been every other family member apart from my dad.
Wow.
So I'm going to say I think you're all guilty of that somehow.
I have to say I've done it. I've gone to a club and I've been on to the door and I've said, "Yeah, but he's my cousin. That's my cousin, DJ." And I only came to hear him. Didn't get me far.
And just to say, like, while we're on that, I think we touched on it a bit earlier, but there's a serious side to you guys being on the door. These are some of the jokes and laughs that we get. But when you get people threatening your life and threatening your colleagues' life when you're working, how do you actually deal with that situation, that moment, which could go pear-shaped?
I'll tell you what, sometimes the moment looks after you.
I'll let Gary talk because I can't hear him at all, yeah? Well.
Sometimes you let the moment look after you. I'll give you an example. I was working in Blend Bar one day, and about 5 youths come to the door that we weren't letting in, wrong dress code. They gave me the most wicked talk. Yeah, gents are not coming in, I'm not interested. Yeah, what are you going because you got big chest this, big chest that? You know what I mean? Yeah, we weren't coming in. I said, bro, you decide what you want to do, and we'll act accordingly. Then you said, yeah, watch this then, watch this, yeah? I'm going to bring somebody down for you. And he's on the phone, he's telling this guy, yeah, come down, man, bring your things, man. Come light up this door, this security gun are like there. You know what I mean? They're bulletproof. I thought, whatever, we've heard this before. 5 minutes later, car comes screeching around the corner. Guy jumped out of the car. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Security, the 5 guys said, yeah, this one here, this one here. The man got an eye shot of me. And the man started crying. He said, Gary. And he turned to the 5 guys and said, this man saved my life at the feds, you know. He saved my life. Apologize. And then all 5 of them apologized. And he said, Gary, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry about this. Get in the car, he told the guys. Yeah? Get in the car. I said, boy, guy, my nephews, them a bit too hyper sometimes, but boy, we can't hang on, you know, because we're traveling kind of heavy, you know. So, Gary, we sorry about this, yeah, respect. And I thought, look how these guys would have called a man down, you know what I mean, to try and excite the door just because they couldn't come in the wrong dress code.
Yeah.
But by the grace of God, this guy was someone that, and after he said it, I just remembered the incident at the feds where he had been outnumbered by some guys and he was getting bottled and he was covered in blood. And I managed to get to him just before the last champagne bottle cracked his head. You know what I mean? That was the final bottle I would put him out. And I remember dragging him out backwards and keeping the particular group that was on him at bay until my other security staff came and managed to, you know what I mean, separate the 2 groups. And he remembered that. And that was like 6 years after that particular incident. And this is the first time I'd seen him since. Yeah,
because that's the thing. You lot can get licks as well, even though you're trying to save someone else. You lot will stand in the way and sometimes take a hit for that. It can be one thing that's it can go very pear-shaped. Calvin, it happened to one of your guys who was on the door and he got stabbed on the door. And he lost his life. How did that make you feel?
Well, I mean, you know, for me, the security game, you've got 3 options when you go to work. You can end up in a hospital or end up dead. You can end up arrested. Yeah, that's the second option. And the third option is you go to work, you come home tired, but you're safe. There's that's the 3 options. That is how it is. Do you understand? And you know, I've got cuts. I've got cuts all over my body. I've got, you know, we've been in battles. We've been in wars. Do you understand? You know, there's nothing that you're gonna say here or haven't seen in movies that we haven't been through. And you know, unfortunately, these things can happen from time to time. You understand? And a lot of the time, it's when it comes out of nowhere. You know, and Steve lost his life from a guy that he didn't even have a word with. It was somebody who was standing up and watching, you know. But there's a general hate for people that are not letting them, you know, these people do what they want to do, you know. And you know, we are the stops in between.
Do you guys get any well-being support? Is there, you know, does the local council at the time say, guys, do you not need support? Is there any counseling that you guys need? Is any of that?
Nah.
Yeah, God.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nah.
Listen,
How could I put it? You got the sad thing is, I mean, you got dormant that there is bad people in every industry. You know, there's bad people. Dormant, a lot of people have had. You only need to have one, just like Gary was saying earlier. You've had a good night out. You've been out. It's your birthday, or you're with a group. You turn up somewhere. You've got trainers on, and somebody stops you from enjoying your night. That is an enemy for life. Do you understand? So it only takes that one incident, you know, and then. You know, you turn around, you're looking at these people, and you know they turn up to the clubs. They don't particularly like you. It's not that you're looking for friends, but you turn around, you're looking and thinking, you're putting your lives on the line for these people, yeah, and they don't know, and they never will. You know, I've been at clubs. Listen, we've had petrol bombs. The petrol bomb the club. Do you understand? Right. This is why the club's full and people are inside, and they leave the club. They don't see the burnt door. They don't see nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we've done what we had to do. They enjoy their night. They've come out, and then somebody's coming out and pushing up their face because they had to get searched on the door going in. So there's a lot that goes on, and it's not that you're not asking for credit for it. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it's a job. But like I said, people they do get the wrong idea. They don't understand at all.
Sorry, Ray. I'd like to give a shout out here about putting your lives on the line. I don't know if you remember the warehouse dance that Sweeney and Mystery had one year when one of my security guys got shot. Donovan.
Yeah.
And this was one of the very rare times that someone other than security put their lives on the line for us. Because that day, a group of 15 guys came that was adamant they weren't paying to come in because this is Grove. You know, we don't pay to come in Grove. So we said, guys, look, you know what I mean? Pay your money or you can't come in. Oh, well, let's do this then. So they tried to rush the door. We got them outside. Anyway, so it's on outside. You know, licks are going, bottles are flying, people getting knocked out. And Chris Sweeney and Mystery both came running out and attempted to get stuck in. Chris got bottled straight away, so he was out of it straight away. Mystery's family came up, grabbed on him, and was screaming to put him back in. By then, one of my guys got shot in the thigh, and the other one got shot in the foot. But I never forget that in that whole dance, only Chris Sweeney and Mystery came out to attempt to at least back up the team that they'd employed to come and provide a service. So, you know, I want to give a shout out for that while we're on this platform. Chris Sweeney, Mystery.
Is that so? That's not usual practice. You don't usually find a promoter being helpful to you guys at all?
And we don't look for it. It's not that it's not usual practice. We just don't look for it. Yeah. When it goes south, you do your job. Do you understand? But a little help rightly given, you know.
Believe it or not, I've had to wing in once or twice in a couple of regional gigs where things have got a bit hairy and you have a limited number of door staff, and it's normally some of the DJs, the manager, and a few others that, you know, all help to come and diffuse the situation. So you know, I understand where you're coming from that part, and you know, what I've just never understood. It's just always a myth to me why somebody would choose to come to a place where they're supposed to go and have a good time. Okay, you're not wearing the right shoes, you're not wearing the right trainers. It's not your club. It's a night out. You can go out and have a night. Why in the heavens would you want to do something to that effect where you want to kill somebody or stab somebody or harm somebody just to get into a club? Just because you think, me personally, I normally just walk away. And
well, what you got to remember,
you see, the thing is, if you're if you know you're talking about you know, people like yourself, you understand, you know, you can never understand. I can't understand, but what you do get, you know, you get, you know, probably depending on where you're working, you can find in the region of, you know, 7 to 12 guns a night trying to come through the front door. And you know, this would be a regular thing. Do you understand? Yeah. You know, there'll be arguments inside with people that they've had arguments and they're going outside or going away to come back with their guns. And we sit down, you know, they turn back up and they're waiting for somebody to come out to shoot them. And, you know, so there's a lot of, I would say, babysitting and talking down going on other people's behalf. And I mean, to this day, this is something that happens all the time. To this day, I mean, none of the ravers, none of the promoters, or the rest of it, you know, none of you guys would know this. You know, there's been a few promoters in the time, I'm not going to mention names, that have actually tried to bring weapons in for their friends. You understand?
No, you don't. Know. Yeah, okay, but you don't have to mention names, though.
I wouldn't mention. No, I wouldn't mention. I wouldn't mention no names. It's nobody. It's nobody here anyway. Yes,
and also, to make it clear. Reggie, also, you have to remember that not everybody comes out for the same reason. Yeah, some people come out because they've just had an argument at home with their partner, so they want to let off frustration. Some people come out because they've lost a loved one or a brethren and they want to drown their sorrows. So little things can spark different people off. So you think, you know, everyone's come out for a good time. Some people come out for a completely different reason. They just want to lose themselves in the night, and any rejection could trigger them.
Right. Can I just ask you something about this? Obviously, this leads you to get into confrontation with the law enforcement, with the police, with the local council, because you guys are on the front line. I know, especially when it's black events, it's a special kind of conversation they like to have around these type of events that you have. Do you find that in the main, do the conversations that you have with the police force, are they pretty positive? Do they have an understanding of what you guys are working with? Do they give you the help and support that you may need?
Differs from borough to borough. Yeah, some boroughs are more supportive than others.
Cool. And how do you find it, Calvin?
I think, to be honest, the police leave you alone. You know, you know, they leave you alone to do what you need to do. They don't want to deal with it. Do you understand? There's no help, there's no support. You wouldn't be calling them anyway. You know, sort of what you're calling for. The club owners don't want you calling them. You know, you wouldn't be calling them anyway. You just got to deal with things the way you know how. They can't do it. You understand? They leave it to us. They'd rather drive past.
So Calvin, tell me, you do Carnival for Rampage, and you look after the whole road. And you know, it's a big team that you have on the road. For Rampage, what kind of conversations do you have? Because the law enforcement are there, but they pretty much leave you guys to do the front police. Well, not policing, but the front. You know, you have to front the first conversations with people that are there. How does that? How did you come to that? And how does that meeting go when you talk to them about Carnival?
Well, I mean, I think from the first year we went there, we had a conversation with them. They saw how we work. We just do what we do. Do you understand? And you know,
I think
they don't get involved. Yeah, it's easier if we just get on and do what we do. You know, sometimes, well, most of the time, us basically dealing with situations can can stop, maybe public disorder. So we just find that, I mean, the police, to be honest, to be blunt, the police just leave it to us, and we just do what we do,
And
it's just
that works fine.
numbers
That
like
works
that.
fine.
It's just literally experience. I think that the key to it all is experience. We've got, between me and Gary, we've got enough experience that we can deal with these people and deal with things because of our journeys. Where all the police training, whether you're in the military, anything else, it doesn't prepare you for the streets. Do you understand? You have to live and know and grow in it to understand, and you can't buy that,
And you know what? I know you've definitely got a high level of respect, and built that up over the years. Because when I posted up that we were having you guys on Set the Trend, I had numerous people, including Mike Anthony, and various other very corporate clients and people that you've
COK loves Calvin.
Who all literally said, you know what? Best in the business. You guys just are just so professional and do your stuff, and that could explain why the police probably have that attitude anyway, because they know that they're in safe hands, or people are in safe hands with you guys in particular.
I mean, the sad thing is, go on, Gary. Not sure if it's.
I was gonna say I wouldn't necessarily say best in the business, but we do what we do, and we do it well. And there's a lot of good security companies out there that probably work just as well and have their own styles, but we have our own way of working, and it's worked very well for us, and it's gained the respect of the circuit that we're on for the last nearly 2.5, 3 decades.
There's a nice message from Glenda Prosper in the chat. She says that she always thanks the security at the end of the night for keeping the rave safe and in check. Do you get a lot of those compliments when people are leaving from the venue, or do they just walk out with their drunken self?
No, more so now as I've gotten older. More so now.
You don't really, to be honest, I don't really. People come, they just leave. You'll get. To be honest, there's not a lot. There is a few, and those few will be regulars. They'll always say it, but there's, considering the sort of people or the numbers that you pass, not a lot at all.
Guys, there's a couple of questions I want to ask you before we wrap up. I can't remember who this gentleman used to work for, because that's why we put his image up there. You know what I mean? The guy on the right-hand side, Dylan White, he used to work at one of your clubs, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's some work with Gary, I think.
He's always been a warrior. He's always been a warrior. He's a professional boxer now, so I don't know if I should tell any stories.
He's all right. He
can't knock you out, Gary. Look at you.
Yeah, he's final. He's done quite well out of boxing as it goes, and he's due on the next list to fight Anthony Joshua if he fights and beats Tyson Fury.
And he's always been confident and good with his hands. And I watched him once dismantle 3 guys at number 10 in Ladbroke Grove. Kicked off on the stairs. We all came tumbling outside. By the time I looked around, there was 3 on the floor already.
He was another martial arts guy, though, wasn't he? He did martial arts.
He started off in martial arts before he went into boxing.
Yeah,
but very quick
boxing.
Yeah.
How long did he work for you, Gary?
Only about a year. Only about a year.
Did he have big dreams then, or what type of person was he when he was on the
remember having those type of conversations with him. But that was while he was working for Jay Baskin.
Okay, yeah.
There was a lot of promoters over the years that we had collaborations with. Starting from the Cartel with
Mystery, Hector Selector, Daddy Ernie.
Yeah. And then we collaborated right through with yourselves. Most of the DJs up here, Eddie Nesta, Fox. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You guys have been to go to security. If it ain't one, it's the other. For most of the events that I've attended over the years. One of the things I want to ask you though, and you can name names now. This is fine. If you're gonna blast the DJ, then blast the DJ, because I might be on that list. I might actually be on the list. And it's more Gary than Calvin. But Calvin, I more see Gary as the person that does it more than Calvin. But Calvin might do this as well. Comes up the stairs, light goes on. The DJ's playing it's like last tune. And sometimes they try and sneak in more than the last tune. So what DJ is the worst at that? First, Gary.
CLK.
I would have to say Desi.
Desi will try sneaking some tunes.
Desi wants one more tune.
Just one more.
Yeah. But there's always one that he just should have played. But to be fair, it's always been a good tune, the last tune.
Yeah.
He just says, one more, Gary, just one more. And we always make sure he gets one in. He would be top of the list for that.
Calvin?
I think I got a cure for that long time ago. Yeah. And that was
a cure.
Long time ago, man. You know, you give them the 15-minute warning when you're standing on the stage next to them. You know, and when they see you and the lights come on, you know, you'll sit down, you'll wait. Yeah. The lights will be on. You're looking at time. You're looking at them. The kind of you're breathing down the neck a little bit. You know, and then you know when time comes, you let them have one more. Yeah, and they're happy with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a big offender on that one. I have to say, I'll put my hands up, especially when I'm drunk in my drunken days.
Before we go, and we tried to get this fella on before, and he's someone that's worked with both of you, right? And he's in the back room. You know what I mean? He's one of your guys. I don't know. Has he gone now? He's supposed to be there. It looked like he's frozen out. He's gone now. Big Wayne, is he there? Are you there, mate? Are you there? You there? Security. So Wayne, I know you're at work. So I know we got to keep it. Wayne. So Wayne's usually at Royal Lounge these days. He works for DNG for like DNG. Can you hear us all right, Big Wayne?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
What's it like working on the door with Calvin's laughing already? What's it like working on the door with Calvin and Gary?
Right. Let me do it properly because I can't hear from the headphones. When I come out and come back in.
Okay. All right, you come back. I thought he was going to say something, Danny. Oh, no, come back.
We're waiting.
You're going. Oh, my God.
He's a very good worker, though.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask, actually. What assets does he bring to your team?
I mean, when you look to the front, you need to see someone worth following. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be someone who's willing to take that heat. You know, because you get people that want to pass the buck, but he doesn't mind if the buck stops at him. So, you know, you'll get maybe, one of the, I wouldn't say lesser security guys, but one of the lesser experienced security guys turning someone away, but's not confident enough to say, you cannot come in. So they will turn to Wayne and say, Wayne, can this guy make it? And Wayne's not got a problem saying, not today, brother. You understand? He doesn't mind the buck fooling with him.
He's learned from you then, yeah?
He carries the weight well. So that's what you need in a head man.
So Wayne, you was about to tell us the qualities that you see in Calvin and Gary, like when you're working on the door with them.
You know what? To be honest with you, you know, I remember starting off with going out raving and seeing Calvin over at I can't even remember the place, over at just off Oxford Street. And Calvin gave me such a hard time. It was ridiculous. And you know, he would let us in. He would let us in, and then like he'd walk past us and make sure he kind of gave us a quick nudge to say, "Yeah, I'm here." And he gave us such a hard time. And then one day someone said to me, "Oh, there's a guy who needs security," and I was like, "Okay, then who's that then?" And it was Calvin. And I went and worked one night over at I think it's London Apprentice. It was like Abba Shanti, and you know now Calvin don't pay me yet. but it's all right. Yeah. So I went over and I worked at this Abba Shanty, and I'm not being funny. I mean, I can say this now because, you know, years have gone by, but it was one of the most boring nights because all I could see was that's a bag of man that's jumping up and down talking about lion. You know what I mean? Lion. And I thought to myself, look at these fools. But anyway, I got to hurry up because I'm at work, so I had to kind of cover up myself. But then, you know, after that, I did do security, and then, you know, as you know, Ray, you was the one who kind of brought me into the security, working over at Acapulco's. He said to me, "Yeah, Wayne, like, I need you to come and look after my money." And I was on the thing like, "Okay, cool." And then, you know, ran into a guy called Luciano. Run into a guy called Lush, and I was on a thing like, I don't know who no one is. And Lush turned around, and I remember he just saying to you like, hey, little boy. And I was like, okay. And all I remember is me saying to him, put your hand on me one more time and I'm going to bounce up and down in there like a basketball. And as I said that, Hollywood must have said, yo, selector. So as I said that, it's like the whole of Acapulco's looked around and saw me. And then obviously you introduced, I started working at Acapulco's a little while, and then, you know, then I got introduced to Gary, and then 25 years later, I'm still here.
And that's funny, you know, because you see, when I introduced you to Gary, and like Gary took you on, I used to go to Gary and I say, "Yo, G, I'm gonna deal with him differently," and Gary used to say, "That's not how it works, you know."
Yeah. I mean, you know, it was one of them ones where you saw me. If you saw me, you saw Trench. You know, if you saw me, you saw Trench, and if you saw Trench, you saw me, kind of thing. And you know, I sort of said to Trench, "Come, let's work over Acapulco's," and the next minute, you know, me and Trench was working for Gary. And as I said already, like, but these guys here, Calvin and Gary, they've just been like, for me, their foundation when it comes to doing the doors. You understand? So any little advice, or anytime I see these guys come and do the doors, it's like it's like, for me, it's a blessing when I see them come over. You understand what I'm saying? Or if they come and say to me like, "Wayne, look, do this or do that," or, you know, Calvin might say, you know, every so often Calvin would drive past, he'd look at me and say, "Yeah, I'm still watching you, you know. I'm still watching you." You know what I mean? But, you know, to be honest with you, you know, Gary and Calvin, but, you know, Gary really has looked after me in this whole security game. But the faithfulness is probably what I've got from my mum, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Because
guys, we would like to talk longer, but one of the questions that I want to ask before we even say bye, how can we, I want from each of you, to answer this question. How can us, the public, make your lives much easier?
I'll start that off. Do you know something? To be honest, I think you know, it's about understanding. You know, me one now. Yeah, all right.
You go for it, Calvin. Go for it.
Go, you tell him, Cal.
Look. You know, fun and joke aside. You know, I'm not just talking. It's not just about us. There's a lot of good guys out there. There's a lot of good security out there, all up and down the country, that do the same thing we do. Do you understand? Yeah. And, you know, we put our lives on the line so people can go out and enjoy themselves. Their children can get home safely. Do you understand? And like I said, you know, people hold it in their hearts because they turn up because they can't get in with trainers, or they can't get in with jeans and stuff. These things that to us are irrelevant. You understand? It's safety first. And, you know, we just probably ask the public to just kind of understand and just, you know, just bear that in mind slightly. You know, you've gone out, your kids have gone out and left the club safely. Nobody's got in here with any guns. Nobody's been hurt in this place that, you know, we control. Do you understand? And, you know, it's just, if you ask me, it's just for everybody to understand, even the gyms and trainers and the hats from the DJs and promoters. It's just to understand, you know, we're here for the bigger picture, and that's for everybody to have a safe night and leave. For me, there's no egos involved. It's about doing the job and getting the job done safely. You know, that's what it is for me.
Gary?
I would say be patient. Yeah, be patient with the security staff. And when you ask a question, expect that there may be more than one answer. So if you come to the door and you ask, is there any trainers? And I say no, then why are we arguing now? That means you never really came to ask the question. You came to say you were coming in with trainers. So if you come and you say, you know, security, what, any chance of wearing tracksuit or jeans? Nah, mate. You know what I mean? Take it as no. So that's all I like to say. You know, be patient and be understanding that when you ask a question, you might not always get the right answer that you want.
Big Wayne?
When you have a shit night, yeah, I don't care. So just understand. No, I don't understand. You see, okay, you know what the policy is of the club. You know what the policy is. And at the end of the day, it's one of them ones where you just want your money. You don't care how it goes. You just want your money. Sometimes you don't need to understand that we're the ones who are on the forefront. So when it goes pear-shaped, if we don't deal with it, next minute, you know, see, security does, yeah, they didn't bother, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. When you have a shit night, understand that the same man who's got jeans on, he can't come in. Don't tell me about, yeah, but he's a payer, and you know, I ain't got much people in there. You ain't got much people in there because your night's shit. And that's it. Yeah, don't blame us because of the guy. You know what the rules are, and that's it. You know what the rules are, so therefore, you know what? Just deal with it and done. You know what I mean? Don't turn around and tell me about because the guy, hey, you know, it's only two of them only got jeans on. How much is that? But they're the same two who's going to come in the dance and try and mash it up, and then they're going to be the last ones to leave. So you lot as promoters and the people that are out there who's raving, understand that where we're coming from. We're not out there to be abused. We're out there to do what we're supposed to do and look after you guys. So therefore, you know what I mean? Like, see with us and understand where we're coming from, and stop telling people about you pay us, because you don't. That's what enough people say. Oh, we pay you. You don't. You know what I mean?
Wait, just before, while we've got you here, wait. It's our last show today, and we've got time on our hands on a Saturday now. What do you recommend that the boys should be doing with this extra time that we got?
What you lot should be doing?
Some man
I think you lot should clean up some of your people, them's houses. Do some man things around the house. You know what I mean? Because enough of you guys, you lot wear all this expensive stuff, this whole heap of name brand, and some of you lot live like shit. So therefore, you have a lot of time now. You can clean up. And I'm not saying any one of you lot, but there's a lot of guys out there. And me being a firefighter, I go to a lot of people's houses who's on the circuit, and I get to realize that they might look all 100, you know, £100 and all the rest of it, £1,000 when you go out. But remember, I come into your houses and put up smoke alarm and make sure you're safe in your house, and you live like shit. So therefore, take this time and fix up your yard. You understand what I'm saying?
And do some man things.
Do some man things around the house. You understand? And behave yourself. You understand? And respect the women.
Have you got 3 smoke alarms going, by the way? Because mine's run out.
Well, when you're ready, you come and check me, Reggie, and I'll come and give you some smoke alarms.
Are you allowed in the Surrey jurisdiction?
But no, but you can put them up. Make sure you put them up yourself, and don't ask them much to do it.
Big Wayne, I got to say bye to you before I say bye to these guys. Thanks for coming on short and sweet. I know you're doing your work, brother. Cool, Wayne.
There's no filter with Wayne. No filter whatsoever.
I love him.
No, but your house is shit. Oh my days! But you know what? I must admit, I do get some banter sometime when I'm out on the front and I'm with security and you guys, and like we're getting some joke, especially once you've banned somebody and like, you know, you're creasing really. I don't care what anybody's got to say. If you're at the door and somebody's got banned, you know you're creasing. Yeah, man, let me turn it. Look, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get some joke. And it's good to hear the stories why you think, because sometimes some persons are serial offenders. That's the thing that get me. You get me? They know Gary and Calvin's gonna ban them, and they serially offend, come back again like they're gonna change their mind. And these two gentlemen are not changing their minds one bit. They're not having a bar of it. You know what I'm saying?
Unless your name's Sweet Vibes.
Not even me. No, well, listen, they would give me a hard time. Don't think I get an easy time, you know. I told you already about Gary and Calvin, and they would do the same thing, because one thing that I know and I learned from early, do not try and disrespect the security, because the respect is what holds them up in front of people. People have respect for them, then they're not going to try anything. So if they see me disrespecting, they're going to feel that they can disrespect.
Exactly.
That's why they don't have it from me neither. So I can't do that. And I learned from long time, if they tell me to wait over there, wait over there. And then, I'm saying to you, because some security though are screw face all night long. Mention no names, OB, and we won't mention OB again. But what I'm saying to you is, yeah, because when OB tells you stay over there, you're like, oh Jesus, here we go again. Bad night. But yeah, but you just have to have the respect, and that's what I've learned from being around these guys from early out. If you give them respect, they will show you respect. And it's not sometimes on your time. You have to work on their time, and there's a reason behind that. So just, if you really do respect what they do, you will wait, and then, you know, whether it's 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but remember, I've come dressed wrong, I will probably get in, but I will get in the naughty corner as well. You get me?
And Raymond, all you see in us is a reflection of yourself.
100%, yeah.
Whatever energy you've brought to that door,
yes,
you know, you'll see it return.
Yeah, 100%. You're seeing it's that energy thing again. If you're nice and polite with gents, they will do. So, last words are gonna go to you both before we let you go. Calvin, what would you like to say? Any regrets at all in the business at all?
To be honest, it's been a journey. It's been an experience. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. To be honest, you know what I mean? It's not the feel. I wouldn't want my children out here doing it. It's you know, being serious. It's not a nice life. It's not a nice job. Do you understand? You know, so any youngsters out there, go and find a day job somewhere that's you're gonna do something else. But I mean, apart from that, you do meet some good people. I've met some good people, and actually some good friends I've had confrontations with. Do you understand? When we first met, and you know, they get to understand me, and you know, we become good friends over the years, man. You know, so that side of things, you know, is a plus. Obviously, there's the downside of the people, you know, losing their life or going to jail, going to prison, stuff you might have to do. But on the whole, I mean, even to be fair, even the circuit, who we all know, most of the time, the people you meet at the club after they've had a drink, you see them in a day or talk to them normally, they're really nice people. You understand? They're really nice people, and you can take people wrong because, you know, they've had a bit to drink or they've got a little bit of a crowd. You understand that, you know, they want to perform. But you know, generally speaking, there is some nice people out there. You know, you have the pleasure of meeting. Yeah, that's me done on that.
Cool, Gary. Is there any regrets as well?
I would say that
you know, you can regret situations. Don't know. You can regret situations. What can I say? I'm still here. I've been through a lot. I'm still here. Do you understand? So, you know, I mean, apart from, you know, potentially, you know, being able to be places that I couldn't have been, you know, would have liked to have been there when you know, when Steve lost his life. You understand? You know, I would like to have been there that night. You know, I mean, apart from things like that, then, you know, what can I say, man? It's good experience. Work with some good people. You understand me? So, you know, I'm here today. I can't. What can I say?
Okay. Gary?
I would say, despite the situations, life-threatening situations we've been in, and I've been stabbed in this job.
Wow.
I would say what warms me the most is the lives that we've saved over the years. And on reflection, we've saved a lot of lives. some of the incidents have been so petty that you can't believe that people were getting stabbed for it or whatever. But we've been that last line that's come in on so many occasions, and we have saved so many lives. And that's what I think when I retire would fill me the most.
Cool.
Well, listen,
Hey
man.
guys, thanks a lot for coming onto the platform. It's been a pleasure. You know, as I said,
last one. Then we got to go. One more.
But it's been a pleasure having you on there. I hope. I mean, there's new stuff that I've learned about you. I hope some of the people them in the chat room have learned something new about you guys and not just seen you at the telling off end, and when you might be telling them to wait, don't go, stop. You know what I mean? They see a new an insight into you, and an insight into the challenges and the difficulties that you guys live with every day of your life when you come out and you put your jacket out and you come out to protect the customer and the public from, and safety is a priority. It is the priority. And on behalf of everybody, I just want to thank you for that. You know what I mean? And make sure you guys know that you are loved out here, and there is a whole heap of respect for you and your teams, both of your teams.
And last thing before I get killed here.
Yeah.
No, Gary, we've got to close the club. We've got to go. We got homes to go to.
I'm going to say this quickly before I get closed. I would like to say the highlight of my security career was meeting my wife at King on the Rye.
Yes, yeah, the boss. Meeting the boss.
Get that bit in.
Yeah.
Okay. She probably watched it, and I never mentioned it. So
you see how important that last record is. That last comment is.
You gotta get in.
Gary and Calvin, thanks a lot, and we'll see you very soon. Man. Yeah, but thanks a lot for coming on Set the Trend. It's been a pleasure.
Calvin. Nice one, Gary.
Man. Bro. Thank you. Oh my gosh, my three favorite security, my three favorite security, because Big Wayne was there as well. That is such a nice note to close the show on.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's a great metaphor going forward for the year, especially after the pandemic and coming out of lockdown. The whole point is to be secure and to make sure that you are keeping safe. So, it's great to have some guys that have definitely kept us safe for so many years.
But not only that, the fact is that without you knowing it, they're putting their lives on the line for you without you knowing. And do you appreciate that? You know what I mean? And hopefully, like the people who are listening here today, they will appreciate it. You know what I mean? And know what a tough, hard job that they have to do. I like that show.
Calvin just hasn't changed at all. Same Calvin.
And he ain't got no grays. Calvin ain't got no grays, Calvin don't have no grays,
Calvin just no business. Same.
Calvin, no nonsense, Calvin. No nonsense.
No, that's what I said. He just smiles.
If I ever manage to do a dance and like you guys and be able to get one of those yellow bags full of money, I'm sure definitely I'll have a Calvin or Gary escorting me. Be escorting me looking after the stuff.
But there's an extra fee for that as well, though. It's not part of the £16 or £18 or £25 an hour rate. It's not.
Oh right, okay. I thought it was £100 an hour these days.
It's a special rate. That one is.
Yeah. Okay. I pick up a singer called JL as well. First time JL. I've really heard him. I mean, I've heard his track before, but he's a nice guy, and wish him all the best.
Yeah.
Let's just finish off quickly. I've got to go through some of these. We're just gonna tell you about some of the guests that we had on.
Hold on.
What?
Okay, sorry. I thought we were gonna. No. It's all right. I'm just gonna say that we're gonna big up the people who watch.
Reggie,
executive
Reggie Budden. Can you just hold on, please? Anyway, I got up to DJ Yardi. We also did the Valentine's edition. We had on Alice Bandakravi, film director Freddie Nawaka, Alana Marie, Alicia Scott, and a live performance from Cy Smith. The week after that, we did To Vax or Not to Vax. We had some eminent doctors on, Dr. Atta Ochili, Dr. Krista Farrell, and journalist Nadine Drummond. We was talking about whether or not you should take the jab or not. That was a really big show as well for us. The week after that, we had BBC Shop's Jay Blades in the building. His book out as well. His book is out, Fabulous Gentleman, and a live performance from Miss Kim Tavar. The week after that, we had Donald Jones on the show, Matthew Phillips, the CEO from Notting Hill Carnival, Peter Francis, writer and comedian, and my favorite guest for that show, V. Roberts, Insight to Marketing, Dion Maxwell, Diversity and Belonging Specialist, and Leila Thomas from CEO Urban Synergy, mentoring and befriending charity. It was Women's Week, and they were absolutely fabulous, and they gave me some more energy. Definitely love those ladies to the bone. The week after, we had Reggie's mate, Mervyn Lynn.
Good on Merv.
Mervyn Lynn from BMG Records, marketing director or marketing. What was his titles there?
VP, vice president.
Vice president for BMG Records. And he had some guests on, Angie Stone, June Sarpron, to mention two of them. That
Ivan Mateus.
And Ivan Mateus. The week after that, we had Sean Wallace, the Chaser, was in the building. And
we beat him. We beat him.
We not only beat him, he said he wasn't a fake raver. So next time I will have him there. He's also a Chelsea fan, and we also had live music from Cherie Brown, that iconic singer Cherie Brown from back in the day. She was on there. The week after that, we had Vax Part 2. We had some more doctors on, and we talked about. And we looked at the evidence, and we looked at 3-4 weeks on, and we looked at the data, and we had a more in-depth conversation about whether or not you are to jab or not to jab. The week after that, the great DJ Spoonie was in the building. So big up DJ Spoonie was in the building. Carol Glenn, Reg.
NRG Racing.
About Carol Glenn. Fabulous.
Excellent stuff. And hopefully we're going to be doing a lot more with her.
And there was a live performance from the UK's Sinclair. The week after that, we had one of the greats, one of my icons, as it goes, one of the guys that I really looked up to in terms of knowing how to play music and entertain and juggle. Rory Stonelove was in the building.
Legend. Funny, if we've got a clip of Rory Stonelove, a highlight moment.
Have we? If I remember correctly.
No, it weren't. It was. Oh, it could have been, but it was the one that had Straight to the Fat Boy's neck on it, which Tony P took or nicked out of Stan's box and then went and bootlegged it, and Mystery was part of it.
It wasn't a bootleg. It was the real deal. Never.
Mystery?
For you, it was.
Yeah, it was like
Imagine that, Imagine that Mystery gave Rory a record, and Rory believed it was a real deal, and it was a bootleg. It was a proper bootleg. That was so funny.
That's how convincing Mystery is, though, isn't it?
Mystery's a proper salesman, isn't he? Mystery is a proper Gino, we call him. Godfather Mystery of the street sounds. We also had Slim Tim from Touch of Class there, and also Anthony Brightly from Sir George was in the building. Eminent guest. The week after that, we had we had Tanqueray Haywood, who finished the show that night. Live artist, absolutely fantastic. The week after that, we had DJ Elaine, and Cute Guy was in the building. McCoy, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, sir. A big Raymond as well.
Raymond, man.
Mark as well.
Mark, Brandy afterwards.
Baby.
Hi, Daddy.
You know me, innit? I know you know me. Yeah? I know you know me. Yeah?
Right. Cheers, Raymond.
I know you guys.
You know me.
Real man.
You know me.
He's a St. Elizabeth man. You know, see already he's a St. Bet man. I guarantee you. Yeah, from down in the valley. I guarantee you that.
We
had Noah McCoy who also closed the show. The week after that, we had everything Neo Soul, everything independent. We talked with Key Jam, Taxman, and Jeffrey Fletcher. We had some live artists as well in the building for that one. The week after that, we had Your Boss was in the building, Reggie Styles, Jerry Bascom, all the way from Grenada. He was sitting in his big plantation, and it was a fantastic chat that we had with him. Big up Jerry Bascom. Are you like that? Your Boss. So you're comfortable with that now, yeah?
No comment.
You know, no comment. I don't know why.
He's as much as my boss as you are.
I don't know your problem. I don't know. I really don't. The week after that, we had a fantastic conversation with a young lady I have not seen in years since she was out in Batty Riders. No, not really. But that was her and Alison was out in Batty Riders, and she was in. You see, Michelle Escoffery, doing big things out there, and you know what I mean, she's really moving up levels and really making a big, and you know, I think people are more respecting her for what she is, especially in the position that she's in now at PRS. And she is someone who the glass is always half full for, and it was great to have her back. Well, not back on the show, but back amongst us, you know what I mean, for not seeing her for so long, you know what I'm saying to her. So big up Michelle Escoffery. There was a live PA by JB Rose in the building, and that was fantastic.
And look out for a great highlights package coming of the bloopers from that show.
Yeah, tell me about it. And we also had and wasn't your artist on that show as well, Reggie?
Yeah, DCR performing.
DCR was there as well. So
and Jerry Bascom, we forgot to mention Terry Walker.
Alison Corner. And Terry Walker, yes. Terry Walker was in the building as well. Fabulous Terry Walker. Yes, she was there as well. And last week, that show still has me buzzing. Still has me buzzing. As a sound boy, just to hear Norman J, the MBE top 5 DJ in the United Kingdom without any apology, without no guy test, as we would say. He was here for 2.5 hours, and he don't usually talk. He don't do it, and he came on.
Great conversation. It was a great.
He talked the truth. He was the truth, as we say in the business. There were some gems that he dropped. If you haven't seen that and any podcast I've mentioned, you only need to go back to our YouTube page, type in Set the Trend Podcast, like and follow us, subscribe, and then you get all what we're doing. And there was also a live PA by Raheem Devon last week as well.
That was wicked.
Jeez.
Kaboom.
Love King was in the building last week.
Yeah, more dub
I'm not
plates
sure.
for Fifth Avenue.
I'm not sure if you mentioned Donald Jones's performance. Did we do that?
He didn't perform. He was talking.
He didn't perform.
Yeah,
But
man.
also,
What you got? Was that Alzheimer's?
No.
Certain people didn't get the contract signed properly.
It's his birthday today. I just wanted to say happy birthday to
happy birthday, Donnell. Yes.
Happy birthday, Donnell Jones. Are we coming into Gemini season now? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's your birthday coming up soon, isn't it? Happy birthday in advance on here, Mr. Banton, and also to DJ Ali and Reds and good mate Biggie. Happy birthday for June.
Good. June people are lovely people. The best people are June people. You know what I mean? And anybody who says anything about that, your house is shit. Excuse me, sorry. We're allowed to be like that. It's the last podcast until I'm told that we're coming back by one of the CEOs. He says September, so I think we'll be back in September. And we look forward to seeing you with another lineup. Hopefully, we can top this season's lineup because it's going to be difficult, mate. It's going to be really. Are you eating already, Reg? Reg, we need to finish the show, and you're eating already. What's wrong with you? Well, no, come on, bro.
Sorry.
Yo, Reggie. Reggie. You really have to eat the food before we finish.
I know the ladies. I know the ladies like it when I was about to say something.
Reggie. Put
this way, it's not fish.
Well, I'll tell you something. That line there, Reggie, you're going to get some offers.
Well, gentlemen, what are you up to? What are you up to for the rest of the week, EastEnder?
Contracts to sign, big announcement, new show, Red Alert, coming out Thursday morning. I can't give you any more information, but Thursday I'll be announcing a new concert that will be taking place in the month of November. Tuesday night Facebook Live, Wednesday TV, Dominic Cummings giving Boris Johnson a good old run for his money. My eyes will be glued to the TV on that one.
Reggie, what will you be up to this week, mate?
Right. So this week, tomorrow my radio show on London Sub Radio 8 to 10 p.m. Monday 3 to 6 p.m.
Hold on. Jerry, it isn't nuts he's eating, it's a Mars bar.
London Sub Radio. Anyway, where was I? Tuesday on the commemorating the death of George Floyd, and I hope you're listening, Jerry. I've been given special dispensation. I'm going to be doing a special one-off show, going back to my first ever radio station, a guest show on Vibes FM .net, 93.8 on the FM if you're in London, and 1 till 4 p.m. in the afternoon on Vibes FM, playing pure reggae and also dancehall. So big up to Terry Don and my old station.
Reggie playing dancehall. Wicked.
Yeah, and then
Salute,
next
my
week
brother.
Sunday, Solo Dea down at Porky's. You're all invited. Come down, book your table. Porky's in Streatham.
Big rave.
Huh?
Plug.
Big rave.
Hold on a second. Can I just also mention that my disco funk and Love Soul Funk and Smile series is available to download for free and listen to. Big up to all those who've been downloading all week. All 180 of you who've downloaded this week. So thank you.
Reggie Budden, boy. Reggie Budden. Yes.
One more time, producers. Producers, one more time.
One more time, producer. Yes, Reggie. Go on.
Thank you, Karen. It's all right. I've got very good timing.
So in the morning, Breakfast Blues, I'll be on at 9 a.m. Set your clock, so I'll be on from 9 till midday tomorrow morning. Look at him, he's muting so he can nam, you know. You don't want to see him clapping his teeth.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, Mr. Nama. Anyway, so and in the afternoon.
I can feel the t-shirt coming on. Yeah, man.
And in the evening, I'll be at Reggie Nawaka's big 50th birthday that he'll be having. It's a drive-in comedy do. You've got me and C6 doing the music down there, playing some old school while the acts are on stage. We've got Donny on there, not Janet K. I forgot who else. There's someone else on there. Anyway, some old school singers. I haven't got the bloody leaflets there. I forgot. That's my Alzheimer's kicking in. We
can see them on the Breakfast Blues tomorrow. So
yeah. I'll promote it on the Breakfast Blues. So if you haven't got it, I think there's a few more car spaces left. In fact, it's going to be. I've never done a car driving, so I'm doing it tomorrow evening. I'll be there doing it.
I've seen a few, and they're absolutely incredible.
And then I'll be on Monday. I'm doing some show somewhere for Bella. I'm doing something. I can't remember what it was, but what it is, but it's something.
Ting-a-ling-a-ling, the bookings them a ring.
It's not a booking. It's not like a booking. It's just I'm just gonna go and give my 2 pence worth. Shut up.
You got any contracts to sign this week?
That contract is still on ice, isn't it? So, and I don't want to say nothing about it yet, but if I sign this contract, then you guys will know. There it is. Freddie Nowaka's big thing. Select. Thank you. Carol Thompson, that's the one. Carol Thompson and Donny singing. Kane Brown, comedian. Quincy, Cockney Prince, Ori Styler, and ABS The Truth will be there between 7 and 10 p.m. tomorrow. If you haven't, I think there's a few car spaces left. So if you want to go and have a laugh, that's the place to be. Thank you, producers. Wow, they really do like work their stuff when they're ready. Can I just say, guys, I want to big up the producers that you don't see. Thank you to them as well for being. I know I'm smart, and thank you, because they would never let me live it down if I didn't thank them at all. Thank J2 and thank Jide for being a part of this group and making this happen, because it wouldn't happen without these guys. It just wouldn't run as smooth. It just wouldn't be as funny. And I'm telling you, us being together over this pandemic, if you ever are a fly in on our meetings, we meet at least once, sometimes twice a week to prep up for this show. I know it don't look like it.
You stupid boy.
I know it don't look like it. I know it don't look like that. We don't do any prepping at all. Yeah, I know we do, but we meet once or twice a week to sit down, to go through questions, to go through the format, to try and add in some things that will enhance the show and bring joy to you guys out there. You know what I mean? And it's been great. I think this is one of the, that's one of the things that have made it a lot more happier for me to get through this pandemic. You know what I mean? The jokes that we have, the banter that we have, even now the jokes and the banter that like we having. So doing the lives was something that I didn't want to do, in fact. I think one of you guys suggested it, EastEnder maybe, or I don't remember who suggested it, and I didn't want to do the lives, and we ended up doing a 3-part series, and this is the 3rd part and finale right now, season 3, and we probably going to do season 4 in September, even if we're at the pandemic. So thanks, you guys. You know what I mean? Loving all that.
Shame it doesn't show that love in the meeting.
Preach, brother Rick.
Easy. Hey, one of the bosses is like logged on, so big up one of the producers there. You know what I mean? Thumbs up, mate. You're doing the right thing.
Are we going to big up the people who actually take their time out to actually watch us doing this crazy stuff?
Yes, we need to big up some of them. I see some of them are in the building. Yes, please do.
Big up Prue. Prue was always first in. I think there's a race to see who signs in first, and Prue seems to win it. I think she's got some special digital thing that allows her to be able to be first in the room. So we got Prue. She's always causing trouble. Nix as per usual. You know, putting in some great stuff. Thanks you to Sandra Prescott. Thank you, Sandra. Always some great words. And Prina.
Lisa Max always there as well. She's
Pamela Allen always throwing something.
No, you just like when Pamela throws a.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Thanks to Karen, Lynn.
Karen's in there.
Chicky
like
Nicky,
Alison.
CLK, Shawnee B, Robert Rex, Daddy Ernie. So many DJs.
Shout out to the
Paul
DJs
Rochester,
well.
Atish in Leicester, Davida in Leicester. Oh yeah. Also, I forgot to pick up. Can I pick up a guy called Ben who's always watches on Catch Up all the way from Scotland. And he loves it. He loves the show, and he said he wants to book Fifth Avenue to go up to Scotland. So I'm going to try and arrange that.
I look forward to that because my name's Banton, and Banton is Scottish. If he's got Scottish things, if you didn't know.
Yeah, no, it's good up there. They know their tunes.
Chinnery, Sandy Blue, always in the room. Always see their name. Big up, Tricky Nicky in there, and Jerry Bascom all the way from Grenada. He's always looking in on his employee.
Cheryl.
Let's not forget
Charmaine Bradshaw. How you doing? You're right.
Let's not forget Thomas, Wendy McLean,
Cheryl,
Sandra Banton.
How can we forget Tasha Minion? Oh my God, yeah, big up Tasha. Lynn George. There's so many. Oh man, you guys. I tell you what.
We thank you all.
Yeah, I have to say, like, you know, the fact that you guys.
Oh, DJ Lane's in there. She's always in there every week as well. It's a big up DJ Lane.
You guys always watch.
You know me?
You know me, DJ Lane? You know me. You know me, all right?
We got to do a t-shirt deal with Lane. We got to talk about the t-shirt deal.
Because it would be rude not to.
Exactly. Meet me at Novikov. Now I got Saturdays off. I'm available for dates at Novikov.
Oh my! Are you still single?
Of course I am. I was out last night.
Not after he said he's gonna yam. He's all right now.
I was at Novikov last night, and it just wasn't the same. You know.
For those who don't know, Novikov is a posh Russian restaurant up in Mayfair.
It's not Russian. It's owned by a Russian, but they do Italian and Asian fusion.
So it's a lot of money. It's very expensive. Reggie has a black card, and obviously
no.
He can do +1.
No. First stage of the date is we'll go for McDonald's or Nando's. Depending on how that goes, then we might upgrade to a Saturday bar. From Saturday bar, might upgrade to somewhere else in Chiswick.
We're trying to help you here.
is probably going to be many stages along the line after we've had done the deed a couple of times, maybe.
Yeah.
Just before we're about to get married. That's Novikov.
Can I just say salute to
look at him, he's killing himself. You can't even see his face. His eyes are going into his face there. It's creasing up so much.
Remember, the platform is to celebrate the culture and some of the DJs who've been on the scene from the offset. And I just want to see Dirty Den's in the building. Company
Dirty Den, pioneer.
He's got a great podcast as well.
Dirty Den.
Go back and watch.
Kaboom. Salute, my brother.
That's right, Charmaine. Taste card.
So remember why we're here. Set the Trend podcast. Doctors. It's one of them ones. It's nearly a 3-hour show, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's Set the Trend podcast, where we document street sounds, history, and culture, week in, week out. We've also looked forward to some of the podcasts that we have. Some of our podcasts that we have that are pre-recorded as well. We'll put them out on the YouTube channel, and you can go there and view that. Like and subscribe to the channel. Are they still laughing at old Reggie?
Reggie,
I'm always getting it.
Reggie.
I'm always getting it. Why me? Why always me?
Because you're cheap, Reggie, you're cheap. Reggie,
Actually, Kasha said yes, Kasha. You can go to Marush. You can take me to Marush in Knightsbridge.
Yvette says, Reggie, only teenagers go to
Bulgari. Let's go to the Bulgari, actually. I haven't eaten there in a while.
Reggie Pinocchio there.
Reggie.
Reggie, you got up your
Don't worry, we're back in September, and Reggie will have a new story to tell us in September.
He might all be, he might be, yeah. Did you say wifeyed off or hubbied off? Wifeyed off.
As in, like, I'll have a wifey.
Oh,
don't try it.
You wasn't calling yourself the wifey. This is what I thought I heard, and I just thought, let me just. I've
got the clips of you talking about you love man from the podcast, mate. From the podcast.
I heard that one.
I'll have all creatures, great and small, male or female. Yeah. That's how I am, bro. You know what I mean? I got love for my worldwide community and family.
As you can read, our
producers. Right, let me compose myself now.
Get off.
I know to say get off. They want us off before they fall asleep. Anyway, we're off, and we will see you for the new series. If you see us out and about, say hello. But remember to clean up your houses. Those of you who don't. That's what we took from today. That's one of the
peace, love, guidance, one and all.
Love. We love you all.
See you in September.
See you. Love you. Thank you.